Chapter 1712. 1712 was like a god and a demon. The crown prince of Wuxia City is actually able to obtain such a great opportunity. Heavens, in the future, who will be able to stop him? Who would have thought that the invincible sky demon would be killed by the crown prince of Wuxia City? Who would have thought? It seems that Wuxia dynasty is about to rise up completely. I reckon that it won't be long before the entire vast region will be ruled by them. In the surrounding area, the members of the mercenary group also roared in a low voice, their faces filled with shock. They had never expected that the crown prince of Wuxia City would be able to control a terrifying half-step to longevity soul of darkness. The current Wuxia City was only around 50 years old. With such terrifying strength and opportunities at the age of 50 years old, even if it was placed in the entire transcendental continent, it would still be an exceptionally terrifying existence. And today, if Wuxia City were to kill the sky demon again, the entire vast region would become his legend. Wuxia City, you are really confident. Wang Xian looked at Wuxia City, who was staring at him with an excited and malevolent expression. A faint sneer appeared on his face. Ha, sky demon, don't even think about escaping today. Wuxia City laughed out loud. His body shook and waves of powerful demonic chi were activated instantly. Darkness soul, listen to my command. Kill him. He roared and waved his arm. The darkness soul in front of him opened its white pupils. It had a pitch-black body and a pair of pale white pupils. The entire darkness soul emitted a strange and terrifying aura. Die. His gaze was locked onto Wang Xian. His figure flashed and he attacked Wang Xian directly. Sky demon, after I kill you, I will stand at the top of the entire vast region. Wu Qingqing was so excited that his body was trembling when he saw the darkness soul making a move. He stared at it intently. Do you guys think that sky demon is a match for the darkness soul of the crown prince of Wuxia City? It's not like you don't know how powerful the darkness soul is. Even if the strength of sky demon has broken through to half-step longevity realm in the past year and a half, he wouldn't be a match for the darkness soul. After all, the darkness soul is very special and strange. The people from the mercenary group at the side watched in astonishment when they saw the soul of darkness making a move. It wants to kill me. Wang Xian listened to Wu Qingqing's low growl and the discussion of the members of the mercenary group. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He stared at the soul of darkness in front of him indifferently. His eyes were filled with contempt. Not to mention that he had the strength of level 3 Wanshou. Even if he also had half-step Wanshou, this soul of darkness was not a match for him. Seeing that the darkness soul was already more than 10 meters away from him, Wang Xian slowly raised his arm. Bust. A shadow of the yin-yang taiji pattern appeared in front of his palm. The yin-yang taiji slowly circulated. Die. The darkness soul roared ferociously. Its pale eyes were filled with killing intent. However, at this moment, the powerful, terrifying and violent darkness soul was directly absorbed by the yin-yang taiji. In just an instant, the soul of darkness turned into a pure energy and entered the heart of darkness. Wang Xian took a look and realized that it had turned into a stream of dragon qi. A faint smile appeared on his face. What? An unbelievable roar came from the front. Wang Xian raised his head and looked at Wuxia City. At this moment, Wuxia City's excited face was completely frozen. He stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. No, this is impossible. This is impossible. He shook his head in disbelief and growled in a low voice. What the hell was going on? His powerful and invincible darkness soul. He had obtained the half-step longevity darkness soul under a great opportunity. He charged to the front of the sky demon. The sky demon merely stretched out his hand and his darkness soul vanished instantly. How was this possible? That was a half-step longevity soul. What's going on? What happened? Why did our crown prince's darkness soul directly disappear? The subordinates of Wuxia City also looked on in astonishment. As for the members of the mercenary group, they were already dumbfounded. Hee hee, you think that you can kill me just because you have a half-step into the longevity realm darkness soul? Wu Qingqing, you are really stupid. I can save your life. Now I will take it away. Wang Xian looked at Wu Qingqing mockingly and slowly extended his palm. Bust. An invisible gray palm instantly appeared on Wu Qingqing's neck. The powerful force made him feel suffocated. You. He widened his eyes and stared at Wang Xian, who was standing there casually. His eyes were filled with fear. Die. Wang Xian said calmly as he clenched his arm gently. His grayish palm pressed down on his neck and exerted force gently. The sound of bones breaking was heard. Wu Qingqing's pupils dilated and his body trembled. His eyes were filled with panic and despair. No, no, don't kill me. I don't want to die yet. Don't kill me. A hoarse growl came out from his mouth. His eyes were filled with begging for mercy. He had just obtained a great opportunity. He was only in his 50s. In the future he would definitely stand at the top of the supernatural continent. Now, why was the sky demon so terrifying? Why was the invincible him now like an ant in front of the sky demon? How could this be? Before his death, Wu Qingcheng's mind was filled with countless questions and endless regret. Wang Xian took a glance at Wu Qingcheng's corpse indifferently. There was not the slightest fluctuation on his face. A mere 8th-level void interpretation realm expert, even if he had obtained a great opportunity, was still not worth mentioning in front of him. You actually killed our crown prince, you. At the back, Wu Qingcheng's subordinates looked at Wang Xian with fear on their faces. Their faces were filled with cold sweat. Bus. Wang Xian waved his hand and streams of destructive power landed on their bodies. Following that, Wang Xian waved his arm and stored all the corpses into his interspatial ring. He glanced at the members of the mercenary group beside him indifferently. Then he moved and continued flying forward. Go. Seeing Wang Xian leave, the members of the mercenary group gulped and looked at each other in shock. How strong is the sky demon now? I don't know. With the strength of Wuqing City, I was already invincible in the vast region. I didn't expect that. I was killed in one move. From the beginning until the end, the sky demon stood there and didn't move a single step. With a wave of his hand, the half-step longevity soul of darkness was destroyed. Wuqing City was destroyed. This was definitely not something that a void interpretation stage powerhouse could do. Sky Demon, as expected of that invincible Sky Demon. Let's go to Dragon Phoenix City. Next, it might be the Dragon Phoenix Empire's world. The members of the mercenary group shouted in a low voice in fear. This was the first time they had seen such a terrifying expert. With one move, he destroyed the half-step longevity darkness soul. He was like a god and a demon. Chapter 1713. 1713 Wuji Empire 1. I didn't expect the Wuji Empire to obtain so many resources in there. To think that Wuqing City could advance to the 8th level of the see-through void stage so quickly and control a half-step longevity level soul of darkness. Wang Xian continued to fly towards the interior of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Soon, the entire ruins appeared in his line of sight. Compared to the past, many places with restrictions had been opened. The entire dark ruins was filled with the smell of blood. Woo woo woo. At this moment, a muffled roar came from the center of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Wang Xian quickly looked over and saw a huge figure flying into the sky. There was a terrifying wound on his huge body. There were nearly 10,000 people hiding in his mouth. There was a gigantic black hole in the sky above him. He moved his body and entered the black hole directly. Shaolan. Wang Xian looked at the gigantic figure and frowned slightly. Ha, run. Where can you people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire run to? I'm telling all of you to prepare to die. At this moment, a voice that was filled with sighs resounded throughout the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom. The voice was filled with excitement. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. He could vaguely see a figure floating in the middle of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Very soon, the army of our Wuji Empire will flatten your Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The voice filled with excitement and dignity continued to be heard. The figure in the center looked up at the black hole that had disappeared. His face was filled with a ghastly expression. Wang Xian's figure flashed and flew directly toward the center. In the center of the Kingdom of God's ruins, there was a dense cluster of buildings. The entire area below was completely blocked by the black buildings. When he flew over, the figure from earlier had already entered. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and moved his body. He wanted to enter the center. However, the indestructible buildings made it impossible for him to enter. What a strong material. It's definitely made from a rare material of the longevity level. A strange look flashed across Wang Xian's eyes. He circled around the ruins of the Kingdom of God. He didn't find anyone, not even the people from the Wuji Empire. How did the person from the Wuji Empire enter just now? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. As expected of the ruins of the kingdom of God. With my current strength, I can't even find the entrance. That's true. This ruins of the kingdom of God has been standing here for hundreds of thousands of years. It's possible that the Dragon Emperor and the Dragon King of the dragon race have come to investigate. Even so, it hasn't been cracked open. It's not something that I can enter easily. But now, it seems that the people from the Wuxia Empire have found a way to enter. Wang Xian thought to himself. The Wuxia Empire's solipsistic sect and the southern royal family had searched for tens of thousands of years before they finally found a way to enter. Even if they found a way to enter the ruins of the divine kingdom, there's nothing to worry about. Let's go look for Shu Qing and the rest first. Wang Xian thought to himself and immediately flew out. His figure flashed and teleported a few hundred kilometers away. However, the moment Wang Xian left, more than 100 people appeared out of thin air above the ruins of the divine kingdom. These 100 people were dressed in the uniform of the Wuxia Empire. At this moment, their faces were filled with excitement. Haha, the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire actually escaped. We have already obtained the entire ruins of the divine kingdom. With the resources in the ruins of the divine kingdom, the Wuxia Empire will soon be invincible in the world. When Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Dark Ancient Strength rise to the demigod realm, it will be the time for the destruction of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. This time will soon arrive. Come, let's gather all the forces of the Wuxia Empire and announce that the era of our Wuxia Empire has arrived. More than 100 people were discussing excitedly. Nangong Wudi, the Dark Eye Elder, admires your talent and ability. Right now, your harvest in the God Country ruins is second only to the Crown Prince of Wuxing City. If you perform well in the upcoming war, you will be second only to the Crown Prince among the younger generation. In the middle of more than 100 people, an elder from Wuxia Empire said to a young man beside him. The young man was dressed in a light red flame costume. He wore gloves on his fists and his eyes were filled with disdain. Don't worry, I, Nangong Wudi, am not weaker than the Crown Prince. Next, I will use my fists to open a path of invincibility. The youth's face revealed a strong sense of confidence. Let's go. Gather all our strength and prepare to attack the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The group of people moved and quickly flew out of the God Country ruins. At most 5 days we will be able to break through to the Longevity realm. Aha, the era of our Wuxia Empire has arrived. Before long, our Wuxia Empire will change its name to the Wuxia Empire. When we break through, we will immediately announce the establishment of the Martial Pole Empire. In a towering building in the center of the God Nation ruins, 3 figures stood below the 3 black spheres. Excited voices came from their mouths. In the 3 2-meter-long spheres, 3 extremely terrifying darkness souls were sealed. The 3 human figures below were absorbing the energy of the dark souls and advancing to the Longevity realm. In front of them, over 1,000 experts at the profound void realm were kneeling there. The leader was the supreme sect master of the solipsistic sect, the 2 ancestors of the southern royal family. Ever since the Wuxia Empire obtained the divine tree in the divine lake, the 2 ancestors of the Wuxia Empire had made a breakthrough in their strength and immediately subdued the other 2 great factions in the vast region. Currently, there were only 2 factions in the vast region. One was the Wuxia Empire, and the other was the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. However, very soon there would only be 1 faction in the vast region. In the Dragon and Phoenix City in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, Wang Xian's figure appeared out of thin air in the sky. The dragon eyes of the yin and yang 5 elements swept across, and the figures of Feng Wan, Qingyu, Shu Qing, and the rest appeared in their line of sight. With a flash, he appeared directly in front of them. The Wuxia Empire is now in complete control of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. With the extremely powerful resources in the Divine Kingdom, it won't be long before their strength will completely suppress us. Sister Feng Wan, what do you think we should do? That fellow Xiao Xian has been gone for a year and a half. His wife has been bullied and he still hasn't returned. This fellow? When Wang Xian's figure appeared in the room, a group of girls complained. This made the smile on his face stiffen. Ha! Ha! The first to react were Feng Wan and Lan Qingyue, who were the strongest. Sensing the figure that suddenly appeared in the room, the 2 of them were slightly shocked. When they saw Wang Xian, their eyes revealed a trace of joy. It's Xiao Xian, you're finally here. Bastard, you still know to come back. Didn't you promise to come back within a year? Count how long you've been gone. That's right. Is there a beauty in the central continent region that attracted you and made you reluctant to come back? Chapter 1714. 1714 Wuji Empire 2. The grumbling voices made Wang Xian admit defeat with a smile. Seeing all the girls staring at him with angry eyes, he couldn't help but shrink his head. Ahem, there were some accidents along the way. Some accidents. Wang Xian laughed dryly. Come, my beautiful ladies. Look at the gifts I brought you. Ahem, it wasn't easy for me to get these. Wang Xian took out the jewelry that he had prepared earlier and took them out one by one. Old routine. The ladies rolled their eyes at him. However, when they saw the glowing and extremely beautiful jewelry, their eyes were filled with love as they took it. Don't think that these items can get rid of your crimes. That's right. You are free and unfettered outside while we are suffering and being bullied here. After the group of girls put on their jewelry happily, they started to criticize again. Whoever dares to make you suffer and suffer, whoever dares to bully you, I'll take care of them. Wang Xian immediately patted his chest and promised with a smile on his face. We'll teach you a good lesson later. Xiao Xian, since you're here, do you understand the current situation in the vast region? Lan Qingyue asked Wang Xian. I understand a little, but I'm still not clear about the specific situation. Wang Xian shook his head and sat at the side. The group of girls were also sitting at the side looking at Feng Yuan. Our current situation is not optimistic. We didn't expect that not long after you left, the ruins of the Divine Kingdom would be slowly opened. Fortunately, we discovered it in time and fought with the Wuji Empire. However, not long ago, the Wuji Empire had completely occupied the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. With the huge amount of resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, it was sufficient to create a longevity-level powerhouse. After all, that was an inheritance left behind by a powerhouse close to the level of a god. Feng Yuan pondered for a moment and said to Wang Xian. Currently, there are 4 to 5 half-step longevity-level powerhouses in the Wuji Empire. This time, Xiaolan risked her life to escape from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Lan Qingyue added, once the strength of the Wuji Empire grows stronger, or if they give birth to a longevity-level powerhouse, they will definitely take action to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and deal with our Dragon Palace. I went to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom just now, but I couldn't enter. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and said from the side. If you want to get in, you need to master some kind of supreme treasure. After you master it, you can teleport directly into it. Feng Yuan said as she looked at Wang Xian. Xiao Xian, have you reached the realm of longevity? That's right. How is it? Isn't it amazing? Wang Xian said proudly to Feng Yuan. Now that you have reached the realm of longevity, we are much more at ease. When the Wuji Empire attacks us, we will be able to defend against them. Feng Yuan rolled her eyes at him. It seems that you guys are not too surprised that I have broken through to the realm of longevity. Wang Xian asked in puzzlement when he saw that the group of girls did not show any signs of change. It was the people from the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe who told us. Lan Qingyue smiled at him. After the Fire Cloud Sparrows war ended, Feng Yun used a secret method to send the Heaven's Pride and experts from the 2 factions affiliated to the Fire Cloud Sparrow. There are 3 experts at level 9 and 10 at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage, as well as more than 100 Void Interpretation stage experts from the young elites like the Heaven's Pride Su Xingsan. We got some information from them. Feng Yuan explained to Wang Xian. Oh, I see. Wang Xian nodded his head and said with a twinkle in his eyes, I was planning to kill the people from the Wuji Empire, but I couldn't enter the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. I could only wait for them to come out. I don't think the Wuji Empire will wait for long. Once one of them breaks through to the longevity realm, they will definitely send an army to destroy us. Feng Yuan guessed. Then we will wait for them to attack us. We can capture them all at once. We don't have to go through so much trouble. Wang Xian smiled and said calmly. Little Xian, are you confident? The group of girls stared at Wang Xian and asked. Don't worry. Don't you guys believe me? Wang Xian smiled confidently and looked at Prime Minister Gue. Prime Minister Gue, bring the members of the Dragon Palace. We will return to the Dragon Palace first. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue nodded. Feng Yuan, are you going back? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan. No, you guys can go back first. Xiao Xian, you guys can go back first. I will stay here to accompany Sister Feng Yuan. If anything happens, I can control Xiaolan to deal with it. Feng Yuan shook her head while Lan Qingyue said from the side. Alright, inform me immediately if anything happens. I will be back soon. Wang Xian nodded his head. Okay. Feng Yuan, Lan Qingyue and the rest nodded their heads. Let's go. Wang Xian gestured to the group of girls and Prime Minister Gue. Following that, Prime Minister Gue led all the members of the Dragon Palace to follow Wang Xian as they flew towards the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Gue, call all the members of the Dragon Palace to the Dragon Transformation Pool. As Wang Xian spoke, he flew directly to the side of the Dragon Transformation Pool. With a movement of his storage spiritual bag, Ao Yao and the rest of the strange demons who had been inside flew out. Following that, Wang Xian placed the corpses beside him. They were absorbed by the Dragon Transformation Pool and converted into dragon blood. There were more than 9,000 corpses of the insightful void tier. Among them, there were quite a number of those who were at the 8th or 9th level of the half-step Wanshou insightful void tier. The two first-rank corpses belonged to the Medicine Master and the Weapon Master respectively. As for the corpses below the void interpretation level, there were close to 200,000 of them. These corpses were all transcendent level 7th rank and above. After all, these corpses were second only to the Empire's Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop's power. Little Xian, how can you have so many corpses? Moreover, these corpses' cultivation is so high. The group of girls at the side looked at the corpses one by one with a look of shock on their faces. Prime Minister Gue and the group of leaders of the Dragon Palace were staring at the corpses with glowing eyes. With such a terrifying number of corpses, one could convert a huge amount of dragon blood into dragon blood. The overall strength of the entire Dragon Palace could be raised by 1 or 2 levels. These are the core experts of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Wang Xian said with a smile as he swept his gaze across the members of the Dragon Palace. The current Dragon Palace had improved a lot in terms of strength a year and a half before he left. Out of more than 20,000 members, there were already 13,000 who had reached the Insightful Void stage. Although they were only at the first level of the Insightful Void stage, the sheer number of them was terrifying enough. However, even though there were more experts at the Insightful Void stage, there were fewer who possessed combat strength above the 5th level of the Insightful Void stage. In the entire Dragon Palace, there were only a few dozens of experts who were above the 5th level of the Insightful Void stage, not including the strange demons. I must increase the strength of the top-notch Insightful Void stage experts, Wang Xian thought to himself. He immediately ordered the leaders and members of the Dragon Palace to enter the Dragon Pool. I wonder how strong the Dragon Palace's strength will be after this upgrade. The corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he stood quietly beside the Dragon Pool. Chapter 1715 1715 Wuxia Empire 3. Boom, boom, boom. At the location of the Dragon Transformation Pool of the Dragon Palace, streams of powerful aura surged up continuously. In just 2 days, the strength of the members of the Dragon Palace was improving at a terrifying speed. During these 2 days, Wang Xian had gone back and forth to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom twice. The rest of his time was spent with Guan Shuqing and the other girls. The few girls were at the 8th level of the See-Through Realm, which was comparable to the 9th level of the See-Through Realm. They were not weak. It was also because of them that the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire was supported. Otherwise, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would be much weaker than the Wuxia Empire in terms of combat strength. However, in the past 2 days, there were huge changes in the entire vast region. Under the Wuxia Empire's banner, all the experts and all the legions had rushed to the interior of the Divine Kingdom ruins. At that time, a massive array had enveloped hundreds of thousands of people within the array. This matter shocked the entire vast region. At this moment, everyone knew that the Divine Kingdom ruins had been completely occupied by the Wuxia Empire. In fact, the Wuxia Empire had already taken control of the entire Divine Kingdom ruins. This caused everyone in the vast region to reveal shocked expressions. The Divine Kingdom ruins had existed for too long, so long that it could not be measured with time. There were at least dozens of legends regarding the Divine Kingdom ruins in the vast region. These rumors attracted the experts of the entire continent to come over. However, no expert could open it. Now that the Wuxia Empire had opened the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, it would definitely cause a huge sensation. This caused all the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to panic. If the Wuxia Empire really controlled the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, then their Dragon and Phoenix Empire would definitely be destroyed. And as the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, they would definitely be affected by the war. However, when the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw that the Empress and the army did not leave the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they felt a little more at ease. Reporting to the Dragon King, all the disciples of the Dragon Palace have improved their strength. On the fifth day, Prime Minister Gue and the leaders of the Dragon Palace walked into the Dragon King's palace and reported to Wang Xian. Gather all the members in the Dragon Field. Wang Xian was delighted and immediately ordered loudly. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue and the leaders immediately nodded respectfully. Xiao Xian, let's go and take a look too. The group of girls also walked towards the Dragon Field with curiosity. The improvement of the Dragon Palace this time was a qualitative change. Wang Xian nodded with a smile and swam towards the Dragon Field with the group of girls. When he arrived at the Dragon Field, everyone in the Dragon Palace, including the non-combatants, were gathered there. Greetings, Dragon King. Greetings, Dragon Queen. Upon seeing Wang Xian and Guan Shuqing's arrival, all the members of the Dragon Palace, led by Prime Minister Gue, knelt on the ground and greeted him. A deafening voice reverberated throughout the entire Dragon Palace. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace, stand up. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the more than 20,000 members of the Dragon Palace and said faintly, "Thank you, Dragon King." All the disciples of the Dragon Palace stood up. Generals, please introduce the strength of each combat division to the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue said to the leaders of the Dragon Palace at the side. It's Prime Minister Gue. Reporting to the Dragon King, members of the Demon Combat Division, 2,000 warriors, 1,000 at level 1 of the Void Interpretation, 800 at level 2 of the Void Interpretation, 150 at level 3 of the Void Interpretation, level 4 of the Void Interpretation. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Dragon Defense Department, level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Thunder Department, level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Starwood War Department, level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 4,500 warriors of the Mount Department, level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Dragon Spur Department, level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,000 warriors of the Dolphin Clan. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Golden Swordfish of the Dragon Guard. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,000 warriors of the Poison-Making Department. Reporting to Dragon King, 2,100 members of the Forging Department of the Firehammer Clan. Reporting to Dragon King, 400 members of the civil officials of the Dragon Palace and the members who manage the Dragon Palace. The data is only listed this time. It will be rarely listed in the future to prevent suspicion of the number of characters in the water. One by one, the leaders of the Dragon Palace took a step forward and reported loudly. In fact, Wang Xian could sense everyone's strength at a glance without them reporting. Currently, there were more than 20,000 disciples in the entire Dragon Palace. Other than the civil servants and some members of the Firehammer clan, there were 18,000 people in the Insightful Emptiness realm. Among the 18,000 people, there were 12 people who had the combat strength of Half-Step Wansho, which was the leaders of various departments. They were able to advance to Half-Step Wansho, and most of their energy came from the corpses of the Weapon Master and the Medicine Master, as well as all the corpses of the Half-Step Wansho realm. Only then did 12 Half-Step Wansho realm corpses pile up. As for the 9th level of the Profound Void realm, there were 50 of them. Among them, there were AO crabs with tens of thousands of little crabs in their bodies and 9 dragon mounts. There were only 58th, 7th and 6th level of the Profound Void tier. As for the 5th level of the Profound Void tier, there were more 490 strange demons. There were 204th level of the Profound Void tier. There were 403rd level of the Profound Void tier. The rest all had the combat strength of the 2nd level of the Profound Void tier. After all the members of the Dragon Palace were able to fight against those of a higher level, but in terms of true cultivation, they were all one level lower. With the current strength of the Dragon Palace, the combat strength of those at the peak of the See-Through realm was still not much. This was because the resources were insufficient to produce more top-notch See-Through realm experts. Xiao Xian, with the current strength of our Dragon Palace, aren't we an almost invincible existence in the Transcendence continent? When the group of girls heard the report from the leaders of the Dragon Palace, their eyes were filled with excitement as they asked. There's still a long way to go. Wang Xian shook his head slowly. Ever since he understood the strength of the Dragon Clan and the fact that he almost lost to 2 Dragon Emperors, he had already restrained the pride in his heart. Moreover, there were more than 5,000 longevity-level powerhouses of the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Palace was still a long way to go. This is already very impressive. With the strength of our Dragon Palace, we can completely unify the entire vast region. The group of girls said with a smile. All members of the Dragon Palace work hard. We are very strong now, but the gap between us and the dragons on the mainland is still huge. My goal is to use 10 years to make our Dragon Palace stand at the top of the extraordinary mainland. Now that 6 years have passed, there are still 4 more years. Wang Xian said to all the members of the Dragon Palace. You will definitely live up to the Dragon King's expectations. All the members of the Dragon Palace immediately shouted loudly. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head in satisfaction. Reporting to the Dragon King, the Dragon Queen from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom has sent news that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will announce an important news tomorrow. They claim that this news will enter the history of the vast region and the history of the entire extraordinary mainland. At that moment, a member of the Divine Kingdom's ruins rode on a phoenix dragon mount and came to report. Chapter 1716 1716 Wuxia Empire 4. Oh, does the Wuxia Empire have something to announce? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and looked deep in thought. What could be recorded in the history of the vast region and the history of the supernatural continent? Didn't they just take control of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? Our Dragon Palace is not afraid of them. A few girls raised their eyebrows and spoke angrily when they heard the report. Dragon King, do you want our members of the Dragon Palace to head to the vast area immediately? Prime Minister Gui asked Wang Xian. The 11 of you can head over. The rest of you don't have to. They are not qualified to send all of us to the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he spoke directly to Prime Minister Gui and the rest. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gui and the rest nodded. Let's go. Let's head over now. I want to know what the Wuxia Empire has to announce that they have such a big tone. Wang Xian said faintly. He brought along a group of girls and the 11 half-step longevity leaders of the Dragon Palace besides Prime Minister Gui. Currently he could not enter the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Currently Wang Xian had been waiting for the people from the Wuxia Empire to come out. From the looks of it, they were already prepared to come out tomorrow. It's good that you came out. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He wanted to see what tricks the Wuxia Empire could play. They flew quickly and arrived at the central mansion. Xiao Xian, you're here. Upon seeing Wang Xian flying over, Feng Yuan and Lan Qingyue stood up with smiles on their faces. Young Master Wang. Lord Wang. In the hall, a group of important ministers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire who were seated immediately stood up and greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Wang Xian nodded at them and swept his gaze across them. There were former ministers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, Su Xingzan and the other members of the Firelark clan. What's the situation now? They only announced that they have an important announcement to make tomorrow. Is there nothing else? Wang Xian asked Feng Yuan directly. Yes. Feng Yuan nodded. They announced this matter to the entire vast region. Now, families and sects from the vast region have arrived at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Especially the factions within the Wuxia Empire. All of them have arrived. I wonder what they are doing? They want to gather all the experts in the vast region at this time. As Feng Yuan spoke, a solemn expression appeared on her face. The announcement of the Wuxia Empire made the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and some of their family members anxious. Then let's see what they have to say tomorrow. Wang Xian smiled and said to Feng Yuan. With you around, I feel much more assured. Feng Yuan's tightly knitted brows relaxed as she smiled at Wang Xian. With Lord Wang around, we have nothing to be afraid of. That's right. As long as young Master Wang is around, what waves can a mere force in such a vast area cause? The important officials of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, Su Xingzan and the rest also spoke with confidence. Let's wait here. Wang Xian smiled at them. Everyone nodded. Time passed slowly. The next day arrived very quickly. In the morning, Wang Xian followed Feng Yuan to the city wall of Dragon Phoenix City. Ao Qiqian, Ao Jian, and the rest stood behind Wang Xian and the group of girls. Around them were the densely packed army of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Thousands of insightful Emptiness Realm experts were standing there. Their eyes were looking at Wuxia City in the distance. At this moment, in Wuxia City, all the aristocratic families from the Wuxia Empire region were gathered. Their city gates were wide open, and many people gathered outside the city gates, looking at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. What tricks is the Wuxia Empire playing? Didn't they just control the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? Our Dragon Phoenix Empire might not be afraid of them. That's right. Our Empress's strength is also very terrifying now. Look, Lord Wang is here. With Lord Wang here, even if he controls 2 ruins of the Divine Kingdom, he is still not our match. Around the city wall, some of the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire stared at Wang Xian with burning eyes. In their hearts, Lord Wang was invincible. With Sir Wang around, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would not be defeated. Wang Xian's arrival was undoubtedly a reassurance for them. Everyone, come here to welcome us. Just as they were discussing, a voice came from Wuxia City ahead. Standing on the city wall of the Dragon and Phoenix City, they could hear it clearly. Let's go, let's go. I wonder what the king and the other powerhouses have to announce. Now that our king has control of the Divine Kingdom ruins, could it be that he wants to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire and unify the vast region? It's possible, it's very possible. Haha, in the future the entire vast region will be our Wuxia Empire's territory. Once the vast region is unified, our family clan will join the Wuxia Empire. In Wuxia City everyone walked out. All the citizens were discussing excitedly. If the Wuxia Empire could destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, it would be of great benefit to them. There were at least 100,000 people standing outside the city gates. They looked towards the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, welcoming the arrival of the Wuxia Empire's experts. I wonder what the Wuxia Empire will announce. In Dragon Phoenix City, there were many experts from aristocratic families and mercenary groups who had rushed over after hearing the news. They looked into the distance, waiting, so that they could respond to the unexpected events that would happen next. Everyone looked towards the direction of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. At noon, the sun was high in the sky. The dark energy in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom was still extremely dense. From afar it looked like an abyss. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, the sound of tens of thousands of horses galloping came from the God Country ruins. It's coming? Everyone's hearts trembled as they stared intently in the direction of the God Country ruins. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment, an earth-shattering beast roar was heard. Numerous ice-cold eyes appeared in everyone's line of sight. This is. Everyone's eyes widened as they stared at the spot in front of them in shock. 10,000 beasts were sprinting. Many shadow wolves were sprinting towards them. Above the shadow wolves sat many insightful void-tier experts. The leader was the Wuxia Empire's king and 2 ancestors. Shadow wolves, the largest dark demonic beast race in the Divine Kingdom forest. It is said that the most powerful shadow wolves have the strength of the longevity realm. A cry of surprise sounded. Looking at the Wuxia Empire experts who were running out from the God Nation ruins, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This seemed to be a powerful army from the abyss. Look behind you, it is the heavenly moat demon beast race, it is the heavenly moat demon. Oh my god, all the demon beast races in the God Nation forest are controlled by the Wuxia Empire. Shocked voices sounded one after another. In the God Nation ruins, more than 200,000 people, along with more than 200,000 terrifying demonic beasts, instantly descended. The powerful and invincible aura made everyone tremble. Chapter 1717 1717 Wuxia Empire 5. Is this the current strength of our Wuxia Empire? All the creatures in the entire Divine Kingdom forest have been subdued. Oh my god. This is too unbelievable. After our Wuxia Empire controlled the Divine Kingdom ruins, we actually have such terrifying power. In front of Wuxia City, the family forces in the Wuxia Empire region all had shocked expressions on their faces. They looked at the huge army in front of them, their faces filled with excitement and excitement. What a terrifying aura. The Wuji Empire actually subdued the demonic beast races around the Divine Kingdom ruins. My God. The demonic beast races in the Divine Kingdom forest, there are at least 5,000 to 6,000 insightful void level existences. There are more than 200,000 below the insightful void level. Oh no, their current strength is too terrifying. It's not something our Dragon Phoenix Empire can withstand. However, when the soldiers and citizens on the city walls in Dragon Phoenix City saw this scene, all of them had solemn and embarrassed expressions on their faces. Everyone knew that the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Wuji Empire had reached the point where they would fight to the death. Once one side became stronger, they would definitely destroy the other side. Now, looking at the powerful Wuji Empire army, everyone from the Dragon Phoenix Empire had shocked expressions on their faces. Even Feng Yuan frowned slightly when she saw this scene, and her face was filled with a solemn expression. Boom boom boom. The shadow wolves galloped, and the entire army got closer and closer. Patriarch Wuji, the Wuji nation master, who was riding on the 3 10-meter-long shadow wolves, looked forward with pride. Their bodies contained a huge amount of energy. Half of the army of over 200,000 people were riding on their mounts, and they carried a powerful aura as they stopped in front of the God Country ruins. They were about 2,000 meters away from Wuji City. The king of Wuji Nation and the 2 patriarchs in the center waved their hands, and the entire army immediately stopped. No one made a sound. Roar, roar, roar. 3 low growls came out from the mouths of the black shadow wolves under them. They gradually floated in the sky, looking at everything in front of them with disdain. The people in front of Wuji City also quieted down, staring at the army of their dynasty with fiery eyes. Today the king of Wuji dynasty, Wuju, will announce 2 things again. The king of Wuji Empire stood in the center and his voice resounded throughout the sky. Listen to the holy words. Walala. When the king of Wuji Empire's voice rang out, more than 200,000 soldiers knelt on the ground. Listen to the holy words. In front of Wuji City, everyone felt the terrifying power and knelt on the ground. The king of Wuji Empire, who was floating in the sky, revealed a faint smile. Voila! Wuji King waved his arm, and the flag of Wuji Empire floated in the sky. First thing, today our Wuji Empire will abolish the name of Wuji Empire. As Wuji King spoke, he waved his arm and the flag turned into ashes. What? Abolish the name of Wuji Empire? All the citizens and soldiers of Wuji Empire were shocked. They raised their heads and looked at the king of the Wuji Empire with doubt in their eyes. Second, today, I announce the establishment of the Wuji Empire. The Wuji Empire had been established. The final 4 words shocked everyone. Voila! An even more luxurious and majestic flag flew into the sky. The Wuji Empire has been established. From now on, the vast region will have its first empire. From now on, the transcendent continent's 6th great empire will be established. Wuji Nation's king Wujuding raised his arms and roared loudly with burning eyes. Boom, boom, boom. At the same time, an unparalleled aura was emitted from Wujuding's body. His aura was like a prison that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. What? When they heard Wujuding's words and felt his powerful aura, everyone's faces revealed a shocked expression. Wuji Empire. Wuji Empire. The people in Wuji City revealed a shocked and crazy expression. Empire this. Our king actually wants to announce the establishment of an empire. If we want to establish an empire, we must have an expert of the longevity realm to oversee it, or even more than one. Oh my God, could it be that our king and the others have broken through to the longevity realm? The 6th great empire, the 6th great empire. According to the legends, if any faction was able to control the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they would be able to give birth to an empire. Now, it seems that this is true, our king has broken through. Shock, disbelief, excitement. Following that, all the citizens of the Wuji Empire revealed excited expressions. This was an empire. Their Wuji Empire had actually been promoted to an empire. This was an incomparably glorious scene. This was a historical scene. The 6th great empire of the transcendental continent had been born in the past 3,000 years. This was a great honor for all the citizens of Wuji Empire. Roar roar. At this moment, a roar filled with authority sounded out. From below, a shadow wolf directly flew into the sky. The 20-meter-long shadow wolf's eyes were filled with disdain. He floated beside the Wuji Empire's flag. Long live the Wuji Empire! Long live the Wuji Empire! Below, all the soldiers shouted excitedly. Long live the Wuji Empire! In front of Wuji City, all the citizens also shouted excitedly. A long-lived shadow wolf, how is this possible? Empire, the Wuji Empire actually announced that they have become an empire. How many long-lived experts do they have? Hearing these roars, all the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire revealed embarrassed and even despairing expressions. From the moment the demonic beasts in the Divine Kingdom Forest were subdued by the Wuji Empire, they had an ominous premonition in their hearts. Now, upon hearing the announcement of Wuji Pinnacle and sensing that powerful and invincible aura, everyone's hearts trembled. It's over, it's over. Wuji Pinnacle is definitely a longevity-level existence. That Shadow Mad Wolf is also a longevity-level existence. Our Dragon Phoenix Empire is finished. Heavens, at this time, what else can we use to defend against them? Empire. Within Dragon Phoenix City, all the citizens looked ahead with ashen faces. There were 4,000 to 5,000 demon beasts above the Void Interpretation Realm in the Divine Kingdom Forest, terrifying existences at the Longevity Realm, and a newly established empire. Within a short period of time, the Wuji Empire had become an empire, completely crushing the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Looking at the powerful Wuji Empire, they simply couldn't see any hope of winning. This is bad. There are two existences at the Longevity Realm. Feng Yuan looked at Wu Juding and the Shadow Wolf with a solemn expression. All the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had ugly expressions on their faces. The gap was huge. Even though Su Xingcan and the rest who knew that Wang Xian had the Longevity Realm felt their hearts sink slightly. The other party had at least two Longevity Realm existences while they only had one on their side. Chapter 1718 1718 1718 Star-seizing palm strikes. Haha, when the Wuji Empire was founded, its first goal was to unify the vast region. Wu Juding looked at the cheers of the soldiers and citizens, laughed loudly and continued to announce. Unify the vast region and destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Unify the vast region and destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Excited shouts came from everyone's mouths, and their voices covered a radius of several thousand kilometers. In Dragon and Phoenix City, all the soldiers, important officials and citizens paled when they heard these shouts. What should we do? What should we do? Should we surrender? If we don't surrender, we'll be finished. The opponent's strength is twice as strong as ours, not to mention that there's a terrifying existence at the longevity level. It's been tens of thousands of years since a powerhouse at the longevity level appeared in our vast region. In the entire city, everyone's breathing was a little hurried. They clenched their fists tightly, and their eyes were a little powerless. Wang. At this moment, the winds and clouds changed once again, and a powerful force charged towards Dragon Phoenix City. Everyone felt their breathing stop. In front of them, Wu Juding and the others looked towards the direction of Dragon Phoenix City. Their figures slowly moved and the entire army stood up, their eyes filled with madness and excitement as they stared at Dragon Phoenix City. They slowly approached. Destroy them, haha, destroy them. Let everyone from the Dragon Phoenix Empire die, and capture their empress for blasphemy. Everyone in Wuji City also stood up. They immediately followed behind the army and roared loudly. The stronger the empire was, the more benefits they had. Roar, roar. The dark demonic beasts roared, and black clouds covered the entire sky. They slowly approached Dragon Phoenix City. Feeling this invincible aura, all the soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire on the city wall gripped their weapons tightly, and cold sweat trickled down their backs. Wu Juding, are you here to declare war on us? Feng Yuan's phoenix-like eyebrows were filled with coldness as she stared at Wu Juding and the others and asked coldly. Declare war. Now we'll give you a chance. Immediately open the city gates and everyone will kneel on the ground and surrender. Otherwise all of you will die. Before Wu Juding and the others in the sky could speak, Nangong Jianghu spoke from below. Shut up. You don't have the right to speak when our empress speaks. A general shouted when he saw Nangong Jianghu speak. Haha, do you think that the Dragon and Phoenix Empress still has the right to speak to our monarch? Now, your empress doesn't have the right to speak to our monarch. Nangong Jianghu laughed and shouted. How can a small empire be compared to the sixth great empire on our continent? Nangong Wudi's lips curled up as he shouted with excitement in his eyes. Wu Juding and the other two ancestors revealed proud smiles on their faces. The current Dragon Phoenix Empire was no longer qualified to speak to them on an equal footing. Their words instantly made all the important soldiers and officials on the Dragon Phoenix city wall look extremely embarrassed. HMPH, don't think that you are the only ones who have the strength of the longevity level. When Guan Shuqing and the other girls saw the arrogant look on their faces, they were so angry that their little faces turned red. They looked at Wang Xian and shouted loudly. Ha! The words of the few girls caused Wu Juding, who was standing in the air, to be slightly stunned. His sharp and dignified gaze swept toward the city wall. His gaze slowly landed on Wang Xian. That's right. Our Lord Wang also possesses the strength of the longevity realm. Don't be so arrogant. A few important officials who knew about Wang Xian's strength also shouted loudly. At this moment, fear had already emerged in the hearts of all the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. They had to announce Wang Xian's strength to raise their morale. What? Lord Wang has also reached the realm of longevity. Haha, I told you. As long as Lord Wang is around, our Dragon and Phoenix Empire will not fear anyone. Lord Wang has also broken through to the realm of longevity. Ah, that's great. As expected, when all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire heard that Wang Xian had also reached the realm of longevity, they were all excited. They heaved a sigh of relief in their hearts. As long as they had experts in the realm of longevity, there was still hope for everything. Oh, Tianmo, you have actually reached the realm of longevity. A hint of shock flashed across Wu Juding's eyes as he stared at Wang Xian and asked coldly. Dark Pupil and the other patriarch also stared at Wang Xian. Isn't this a little out of your expectations? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and said with a faint smile. Yes, it is indeed out of our expectations. I really didn't expect you to break through to the realm of longevity. Wu Juding stared at Wang Xian and said in a slightly surprised tone. Below him, all the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire were also looking at Wang Xian in shock. As expected of the Sky Demon who once suppressed the three major forces. Some people were filled with disbelief. Sky Demon, I and Tong have never admired anyone in my entire life. I only admire you. At such a young age, you are able to suppress us old fellows. Impressive. At this moment, and Tong, who was standing beside Wu Ju, spoke slowly. When they heard Patriarch Dark Eye's words, everyone in the Martial Pole Empire was also shocked. But suddenly, Patriarch Dark Eye spat out a word heavily. His eyes were filled with a crazed battle intent and tyranny. No matter how magnificent you are, no matter how insufferably proud you are, no matter how unprecedented you are today, you must submit or die. Boom. As soon as Patriarch Dark Eye finished speaking, an aura that could suppress heaven and earth was emitted from his body. A pair of extremely cold eyes appeared in the sky, each of which was thousands of meters in size. Patriarch Dark Eye had used his domain. Since we dare to announce the establishment of the Wuji Empire, we naturally have to have the corresponding strength of the empire. Today no one can stop us. The invincible Wuji Empire. After Dark Eye Patriarch finished his words, another elder from the Wuji Empire said indifferently. As he spoke, the aura on his body kept rising. The invincible posture was undoubtedly revealed. Roar! The dark shadow Mad Wolf King roared, and it seemed as if the sky was trembling. Hiss! At this moment, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming have also reached the realm of longevity. For we have 4 longevity experts. Haha, at first I thought that Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming hadn't broken through to the realm of longevity. It turns out that they have already broken through. Invincible, this is invincible. When everyone in Wuji Empire saw the imposing manner of Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming, they were all excited. Wuji Empire, invincible. Chapter 1719. 1719 hands to pluck stars one by one. 4. Oh my god, how could this be? Just how many treasures are there in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? To think that 4 longevity experts could be directly born. It's over, it's over. We thought that with Lord Wang's presence, we would be able to withstand the opponent's attack, but the opponent actually has 4 longevity experts, 4 in all. Oh no, this. What else can our Dragon Phoenix Empire use to defend against this? Within Dragon Phoenix City, all the soldiers and citizens felt the terrifying aura charging over. The hope that had been ignited was extinguished once again. Compared to just now, they were even more despairing. For longevity experts, a total of 4. The entire Dragon Phoenix City citizens began to panic. They nervously stared at the Empress and the soldiers on the city walls. There was no way they could fight in such a situation. If they didn't surrender, the consequences would be unimaginable. Oh no, how did it become like this? Damn it! Damn it! At this moment, the hundreds of mercenary group members gathered in Dragon Phoenix City saw this scene and their faces were extremely ugly. They originally lived in Wuxia City and were members of the mercenary group who hadn't joined any forces. When they saw the Sky Fiend kill the Crown Prince of Wuxia City in one move, they immediately decided to head to Dragon Phoenix City after witnessing its terrifying strength. They had even decided to join the Dragon Phoenix Empire. This was because they had witnessed the power of the Sky Fiend and the invincibility of the Sky Fiend. For this reason they had been somewhat complacent at the beginning. They thought that even if the Wuxia Empire controlled the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they would still not be a match for the Dragon Phoenix Empire in this war. Now they realized that they were wrong and it was a huge mistake. This made all of them look extremely embarrassed. If the Dragon and Phoenix Empire doesn't surrender, won't we be finished? A leader of the mercenary group growled in a low voice with a gloomy face. No, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will definitely surrender. They will definitely surrender. The rest of the members of the mercenary group kept consoling themselves as they spoke. Sky Demon, are you also very surprised? Wu Juding returned Wang Xian's words. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he stared at Wang Xian mockingly. I am very surprised. Wang Xian nodded his head. However, he was very surprised in his heart. He didn't expect that the ruins of the Divine Kingdom would produce 4 experts of the longevity level in such a short period of time. It seemed that the resources inside were absolutely terrifying. Haha, I'll give you 1 minute. Open the city gates, kneel and submit. If you don't submit in 1 minute, everyone in Dragon Phoenix City will die, including you, Sky Demon. Wu Juding declared proudly at them. Hearing Wu Juding's words, the hearts of everyone in the Dragon Phoenix Empire sank. Their eyes were fixed on their Empress, and their eyes were filled with complicated emotions. Feng Yuan's phoenix eyes were extremely cold as she clenched her fists with all her might. Xiaoxian, I'm transforming into a phoenix now. I can fight against a longevity expert. With a gloomy face, she transmitted her voice to Wang Xian in a low voice. There's no need to surrender. Wang Xian shook his head indifferently and swept his gaze across everyone in the Wuxia Empire. Surrender, Empress. We don't want to die. That's right. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire is no match for the Wuxia Empire. Surrender. Suddenly voices came from within the city. Some of the important officials of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire looked into the city angrily. Their eyes were filled with fury. Are you confident? Feng Yuan ignored the voices in the city and continued to transmit her voice to Wang Xian. Don't worry, leave it to me. Wang Xian turned around and smiled at Feng Yuan as he transmitted his voice. 30 seconds left. At this moment, Nangong Wudi, who was in front of the Wuxia Empire's army, warned with a smile on his face. Empress, surrender. A terrified voice came from behind again. If any of you want to surrender, just fly out of the city. Those who are willing to fight with me will stay here. When Feng Yuan received Wang Xian's reply, she felt much more at ease. She heard the voice behind her and said faintly, Empress, we are willing to fight with you. Even if we have to die, we will not betray you. That's right. If the Empress wants to fight, we will use our lives to fight. As soon as Feng Yuan's voice fell, the voices of the soldiers and important officials rang out in the surroundings. A resolute expression appeared on their faces, and an aura that seemed as if they were ready to face death emanated from their bodies. When Feng Yuan saw this scene, a trace of a smile appeared on her face. Go, go, go. However, within the city, when the several hundred members of the mercenary group heard these words, joy appeared on their faces. Their bodies moved, and they directly flew in the direction of the Martial Pole Empire. Seeing them fly out, some of the people in the city hesitated, and some followed closely behind. There were also people flying behind. Reporting to Emperor Wuji, reporting to the lords. The several hundred members of the mercenary group who had just flown out looked at each other, and an old man immediately bowed to Wu Juding and the others. 6 days ago, we saw the Sky Demon kill the Crown Prince of Wuxia City. The old man told Wu Juding and the others this news, trying to curry favor with the Wuji Empire. What? It was the Sky Demon who killed Jianghu. Wu Juding was slightly stunned when he heard the old man's words. His face instantly darkened as he growled in a low voice with a face full of killing intent. Yes, we saw it with our own eyes. It was the Sky Demon who did it. The few hundred people hurriedly said. Good. I didn't expect that Jianghu was killed by you, Sky Demon. Good. Wu Juding's slightly red eyes stared at Wang Xian as violent darkness surged around him. He's just a piece of trash. If you want to kill him, just kill him. Wang Xian glanced at the few hundred members of the mercenary group indifferently and said. Good. You dare to kill my Jianghu. Today I announce that everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire must die. Wu Juding roared furiously. Sky Demon, you should never have killed my son. Today, let's use the blood of everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to pay tribute to my son. Now all of you no longer have the chance to submit. You can only die. Killing intent shot out from Dark Pupil's eyes as he said icily. Attack. Leave no one from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire alive today. Wu Juding roared in rage as he gave the order. Kill all of them. Avenge the Crown Prince. Kill? The order was given as a heaven-shaking killing intent sounded. Get ready. On the city walls of Dragon Phoenix City, the expressions of the important officials changed drastically. They hurriedly shouted and prepared to counterattack. A powerful war was about to break out. Die, Sky Demon. Today I will suppress you under the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and enjoy endless pain. Dark Star. Wu Ju raised his arm and endless demonic chi soared into the sky. An extremely terrifying dark star condensed in the sky. The dark star that was dozens of kilometers wide was exuding an extremely terrifying aura. At this moment, the soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Wuji Empire were stunned. For the first time they had witnessed the terror of the longevity level. Chapter 1720. 1721,720 star-plucking palms struck down. Boom. A deathly desolate and bloody aura came from the dark star within a range of 60 to 70 kilometers. The terrifying aura was so oppressive that it was difficult for one to breathe. Is this the terror of a longevity realm expert? Under this terrifying attack, who can survive? Heavens, this war doesn't even require us to act. With the Emperor Lord and the others, they can completely destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Too strong, simply too strong. With a wave of his hand, a star-like attack floated in the sky. Is this something that a human can withstand? No wonder the longevity realm is also known as the demigod realm. Below the peak of Wuju, the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire raised their heads to look at the dark stars in the sky, their hearts trembling. The army that was originally prepared to attack stopped, and they looked up in a daze. Oh no, can our Lord Wang withstand such a terrifying attack? Even if Lord Wang can withstand the Martial Supreme Emperor's attack, they still have 3 longevity experts. It's over. Despair appeared in the eyes of everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Some of them even closed their eyes and clenched their fists tightly. It was up to fate. Xiao Xian. On the city wall, a group of girls were also staring at the dark star in the sky in astonishment. Their expressions changed slightly. They were staring at Wang Xian nervously. Wang Xian was the only one who didn't show any emotion on his face. He raised his head and looked at the dark star in the sky. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Enjoy the fall of the star, Sky Demon. Wu Juding revealed a ferocious expression. He raised his arms and waved them forward. The entire dark star was like a star that fell from the sky. It attacked Wang Xian directly. Beside Wu Juding, Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming were looking at the entire Dragon and Phoenix City in front of them with cold expressions. They were looking down at Wang Xian. You guys are really ignorant to dare to establish an empire with just 4 experts at the first level of longevity? Wang Xian looked at the dark stars that fell from the sky. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly and a look of contempt appeared on his face. Among the 5 empires, the 9 Gods Empire was the weakest. Even so, the 9 Gods Empire had more than 10 experts at the level of longevity. The master of the 9 gods, Mo Sha, and the former master of the 9 gods had the strength of the 4th level of longevity. The Wuji Empire was not qualified to be called an empire. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved his arm and his entire right arm instantly turned into a terrifying dragon claw. The dragon claw expanded at a terrifying speed and turned into a few thousand meters in size. A gray energy covered the surroundings of the dragon claw. Under the coverage of the gray energy of the 5 elements, a dragon claw that was also dozens of kilometers in size appeared. Upon seeing Wang Xian's dragon claw, Wu Juding's pupils contracted slightly. Boom! Bang! Under the shocked gazes of millions of people, Wang Xian's dragon claw landed on the dark star. The terrifying dragon claw grabbed lightly and the entire dark star exploded. What? Such a terrifying dark star was actually shattered by the Sky Demon's claw. Hiss, as expected, the Sky Demon also has the strength of level 1 longevity. Moreover, it seems to be even stronger than the overlord of Wuji. The soldiers and citizens of the martial limit Imperial Lord sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw this scene. However, there wasn't the slightest trace of worry on their faces. Even if the Sky Demon managed to block their Imperial Lord's attack, their martial limit empire still had 3 existences at the Wanshou realm. In a situation of 4 against 1, they could completely crush the Sky Demon. Everyone's hearts were filled with confidence. We managed to block it, but can Sir Wang block the 4 of them? When everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw this scene, they heaved a heavy sigh of relief. However, they were still worried. As expected of a Sky Demon, we really don't dare to let an enemy like you continue to develop. Therefore you must die today. Otherwise we won't feel at ease. When Patriarch Dark Eye saw Wang Xian easily blocking Wu Ju's attack, a 10-meter-long dark staff appeared in his hand. On the staff was a huge dark lotus. The entire staff emitted a terrifying power. I didn't expect that even if we were to break through to the longevity realm, we would still join forces to deal with the Sky Demon. You can rest in peace after your death. Patriarch Wu Ming held 2 dark twin sabers in his hands as he stared at Wang Xian and said calmly, "Roar, roar, roar." Following that, a terrifying roar of the Dark Shadow Wolf King rang out. 4 longevity-level experts from the Wuji Empire locked onto Wang Xian. Around them, one domain after another slowly spread out. Under the terrifying domain, it was as if the entire world belonged to them. Our monarch and the others are getting serious. Haha, today the Sky Demon is going to fall. Excited voices sounded from below. The soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire stared at this historic battle with wide eyes. The entire sky has been controlled by the experts of the Wuji Empire. The Sky Demon is going to fall. Our choice was the right one. At the side, the few hundred members of the mercenary group looked at each other and revealed a faint smile on their faces. Haha, a bunch of trash. Where did your confidence come from? You look so high and mighty. You think you are invincible. Haha, I'm not playing with you anymore. Under the horrified gazes of all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, a loud laughter came from Wang Xian's hand. Wang Xian, who had never taken it seriously, lost his patience when he saw their arrogant looks. He waved his arm gently and the dragon claw that crushed the dark stars in the sky attacked Patriarch Wu Ming, who was the closest to him. Sky Demon, we won't play with you anymore. Everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace will die today. Wu Ming's body shook when he saw the dragon claws in the sky attacking him. Demonic sabers appeared within a 60-kilometer radius around him. The demonic saber domain was activated. The demonic sabers slashed at the dragon claws. Attack. Roar. Wu Juding and Dark Eye Patriarch Dark Shadow Mad Wolf King roared as their domains exploded. Crack, 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 crack. However, at this moment, something that made his body freeze happened. The Grey 5 Elements Dragon Claw entered the Devil Blade domain and easily tore through the domain. The Dragon Claw was like a mountain as it heavily slammed toward Wu Ming Patriarch. How is this possible? Seeing that his domain was instantly forced, Wu Ming Patriarch's face revealed a terrified expression as he roared in disbelief. The strongest thing in the realm of longevity was a domain. Ping! Before he could escape, the Dragon Claw landed on his body. It was like a collision of billions of mountains. Patriarch Wu Ming's eyes widened, and his body smashed straight towards the ground. The life force in his body completely dissipated under a single palm. Even if he was an expert at the first stage of the realm of longevity, he still lost his life under this attack. Boom. The terrifying power caused Patriarch Wu Ming's body to fall in the middle of the 200,000-strong army. Thousands of soldiers who didn't have time to dodge died immediately. A 1,000-meter-deep pit appeared. In an instant, everyone in the Wuji Empire turned pale as if someone had grabbed their necks. Chapter 1721. 1721 unified the vast region. Cough 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 cough. This. How is this possible? How is this possible? This. My God. Stupefied at this moment, the entire sky seemed to be stupefied. At the center of the Wuji Empire's over 200,000 invincible legions, a corpse was smashed there. The powerful force directly caused the ground within a radius of 1,000 meters to sink. Over 1,000 soldiers died instantly. The most unbelievable thing was the corpse in the center. That invincible longevity expert. With a single strike, with just a wave of a dragon claw, he had directly killed him. How was this possible? Everyone looked at the corpse in the center with a dumbfounded expression. At this moment, all the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire, as well as all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, had the same expression. The sound of swallowing saliva and gasping cold air rang out in unison. It was as if what happened here was not a war but a shocking competition. It would depend on who had the more shocked expression. When Wang Xian saw everyone's expression, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. A faint smile appeared on his face. You dare to establish an empire with just 4 people in the realm of longevity? His voice continued to ring out, startling everyone around him. Lord Wang said that once just now. Some people came to their senses and looked at Wang Xian in unison. At this moment, there was only one focal point in the entire world, and that was the mysterious and powerful sky demon, Lord Wang. You dare to attack the Dragon and Phoenix Empire? You dare to kill me? Wang Xian continued to speak indifferently. At this moment he waved his dragon claws again. Boom. The dragon claw that looked like it could destroy the world attacked Wu Juding, Dark Pupil, and the Dark Shadow Wolf King. The dragon claw was in the air as if it wanted to pluck the stars. You are not a powerhouse at the first level of longevity. You are already above the first level of longevity. Looking at the destructive dragon claw that was attacking them, Wu Juding, Dark Pupil, and the Dark Shadow Wolf King trembled. Their eyes were filled with fear. Killing Patriarch Wu Ming with one claw, an existence on the same level as them. What kind of strength was this? Was he at the second rank of the longevity realm or stronger? Even if he was at the second rank of the longevity realm, it wasn't something they could deal with. Run. Wu Juding, Dark Eye, and the Shadow Wolf King looked at each other with fear in their eyes. Without any hesitation, their entire bodies started to flicker. Crack, crack, crack. However, at this moment, the sky above them was covered by the dragon claws. Their domains were rapidly collapsing. Are you trying to teleport away? Wang Xian looked at their flickering bodies and sneered. The dragon claws were suppressing their domains. Oh no. The expressions of the two of them and the demonic beast changed drastically. They flew into the distance in fear. What? Monarch Wu Ji and Patriarch Dark Eye are trying to escape. They were invincible just a moment ago. They have the air of an overlord between heaven and earth. Now. Everyone around was stunned when they saw the two of them and the demonic beast flying towards the ruins of the kingdom of God. Their mouths were slightly agape. Die. Wang Xian said nonchalantly. His dragon claws attacked them at a terrifying speed. With his current combat strength of level 3 of longevity, it was a piece of cake for him to kill 3 level 1 of longevity. Bang bang bang. The power of the dragon claws and the destructive power of the 5 elements landed on the 2 humans and 1 demonic beast. Sky demon, don't kill us. Don't kill us. We are willing to submit. We are willing to submit. I am willing to submit to be your mount, don't kill me. Wu Ju's Dark Eye Patriarch and the Shadow Frenzy Wolf King instantly felt the vitality in their bodies fading rapidly. They roared out in fear. At this moment, it was the same domineering aura that announced the establishment of the Wuji Empire. It was completely different from the invincible aura that was about to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire in Wang Xian. It was a complete contrast. At this moment they only wanted to live. They had just stepped into the realm of longevity and had a lifespan of more than 10,000 years. They didn't want to die. Soul capture. When Wang Xian heard their pleas for mercy, there wasn't the slightest fluctuation on his face. A mysterious power shot out from his eyes. Wu Juding and Patriarch Dark Eye's bodies stiffened as they struggled intensely. Boom, boom, boom. Immediately after, the dragon claws descended completely as their bodies smashed downwards once again. This time, the Wuji Empire soldiers below had made preparations in advance. Their faces were filled with panic as they dodged to the side. The three corpses once again landed on the ground. Their eyes were wide open as they were filled with unwillingness and disbelief. They stared at the sky as if they were questioning the heavens. Why did they have to die after obtaining such a huge opportunity? They're dead. Our unrivaled monarch and unrivaled ancestor were killed with a single claw. How can this be believable? It's over, it's over. Why is the sky demon so powerful? Why? All the soldiers and citizens of the entire Wuji Empire stood there stiffly. Next, kill. On the city walls of Dragon Phoenix City, Wang Xian looked at the 4 experts of the first level of longevity who had died. His expression did not change at all. He had killed many of the dragon emperors of the dragon race, let alone them. He looked at Feng Yuan who was beside him and asked with a smile. They want to destroy all of us. We will naturally return the favor. Feng Yuan was stunned when she saw Wang Xian. Following that, she slowly looked at all the soldiers of the Wuji Empire. Her eyes were filled with coldness. In the battle of the dynasty, the victor would be the king and the loser would be the bandit. Boom. A terrifying killing intent erupted from Feng Yuan's body. Today we will destroy the Wuji Empire and unify the vast region. Kill. A cold voice came out from Feng Yuan's mouth. Haha, Lord Wang is invincible. Destroy the Wuji Empire. I feel like my blood is burning and boiling. Lord Wang is invincible. What Wuji Empire? Today we will destroy you. Haha, Lord Wang is too powerful. He can kill a rank 1 longevity expert with one palm. Ah, kill. Kill. Kill everyone in the Wuji Empire. Lord Wang is invincible, the Empress is invincible, and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire is invincible. Kill. Unify the vast region. As soon as Feng Yuan finished her words, all the soldiers on the city wall reacted completely. They were so excited that their bodies trembled, and excitement shot out from their eyes. They opened their mouths and roared at the people below. Just now they had been extremely nervous. After seeing Lord Wang easily kill all the experts in the Wuji Empire, they completely relaxed. At this moment they needed to vent their frustrations. They needed to kill. The enemy wanted to kill them. Now that they had the opportunity, they naturally wanted to kill the enemy. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire wants to destroy us. They want to destroy us. With the heavenly devil around, how are we supposed to resist? How are we supposed to resist? No, I'm not resigned. I surrender. We surrender. Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. Chapter 1722. 1722. The 1722 region was unified. In front of the Dragon Phoenix City, the 200,000-strong army of the Wuji Empire heard the order of the Dragon Phoenix Empress and began to panic. Even their invincible Emperor Lord and Ancestor had been killed. What else could they use to fight against the Dragon Phoenix Empire? At this moment, everyone in the Wuji Empire had lost their fighting spirit. They started to beg for mercy in fear. No, how could this happen? Why, how could this happen? Emperor Martial Limit and the others are 4 longevity realm experts. Moreover, the Wuji Empire announced the establishment of the empire, yet they were easily killed by the Sky Demon. I don't believe it. At this moment, the several hundred members of the mercenary group shook their heads and watched this scene with some madness. They had originally thought that the Martial Limit Imperial Lord and the others had established an empire and had 4 experts at the longevity realm. Any one of the longevity realm experts could suppress a vast area. Now that there were 4 of them, wouldn't it be even easier? Even though they knew that the Sky Demon also had experts at the longevity realm, they were still not on the same level of battle. Now that they saw the Sky Demon palm 1 Martial Limit Imperial Lord and Patriarch Dark Eye, each attack seemed to hit their hearts, making it difficult for them to breathe. Kill? At this moment, on the city wall, 11 figures were emitting a violent and invincible aura as they directly attacked toward the location below. The violent Ao Qitian, the Ao sword with sharp sword chi. The Ao Yao hiding in the void, the Ao Qi wreaking havoc with lightning. The fierce wind whistled, and the Ao Xingmu swayed its branches. 11 leaders of the Dragon Palace and 11 powerful beings who were half a step away from longevity rushed into the battlefield. Run, run, run. There were only 5 half-step to longevity level demon beasts in the entire Wuji Empire, and there were only 10 half-step to longevity level demon beasts. The 10 leaders locked onto 10 half-step to longevity level demon beasts. As for Ao Qitian, he waved the ocean-pacifying divine needle and wreaked havoc on the battlefield like a mad demon that had descended from the sky. Kill, kill, kill. The 11 leaders of the Dragon Palace took the lead and charged out. The soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire were not willing to lag behind. They raised their weapons excitedly and flew over to attack everyone in the Wuji Empire. The Southern Royal Family is willing to submit to the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Run, run. The 2 ancestors of the Southern Royal Family shouted in fear when they saw the leader of the Dragon Palace charging toward them. However, they didn't have the will to fight when they saw the cold eyes of the leader of the Dragon Palace. They turned around and fled. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire didn't accept surrender. They would die if they couldn't escape from this battle that was destined to fail. However, it was very, very difficult for them to escape. The empire that we just established, the 6th great empire of the Transcendental Continent, is going to be destroyed in less than a day. All the citizens of the Wuji Empire. Just a moment ago, they were still proud of the establishment of their empire and the strength of their country. However, in less than half a day they were going to be destroyed. And it was destroyed by an empire. This few little Xian, it's all thanks to you this time. If it wasn't for you, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would have been completely destroyed. Feng Yuan stood on the city wall and heaved a heavy sigh of relief when she saw that the situation was set in stone. If it wasn't for Wang Xian, the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire would have been destroyed. However, this wasn't the first time Wang Xian had saved the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. It's just a small matter. Wang Xian smiled faintly. Let's go to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. I already know the way to enter. His gaze swept across the battlefield. The situation on the entire battlefield was completely stable. Everyone in the Wuji Empire could forget about escaping. An empire that had just been established would be destroyed immediately. In the future, it would probably become a joke in the vast region. After this battle, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would also completely unify the vast region. Little Xian, you know the entrance to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? That's great. The Wuji Empire has just obtained the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, and they were able to elevate the 3 of them to the realm of longevity. There must be a lot of resources inside. Lan Qingyue's eyes lit up when she heard Wang Xian's words. According to the information I received, the owner of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom was once a peerless expert at level 9 of longevity established 210,000 years ago. However, in the past few 100,000 years, he became a god without a sect and left behind ruins here. The resources inside the ruins of the Divine Kingdom of such a terrifying expert are definitely terrifying. Feng Yuan said from the side. The resources inside are indeed huge. Wang Xian's eyes were sparkling. Come, let's go. Alright, let me give some instructions. Feng Yuan nodded and gave some instructions to a few important officials. Then she nodded to Wang Xian. I'll bring all of you to teleport. Wang Xian looked at the group of girls. His body trembled as he brought them to teleport a few hundred kilometers away. On the city wall, a group of civil officials saw Wang Xian leading their queen to teleport away. All of them had looks of admiration on their faces. It was as if they were looking at a god that they worshipped. After 2 teleportations, they arrived at the sky above the center of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Wang Xian walked to a spot and a dense dark force surged downwards. According to the memories in his mind, an entrance appeared in their sight very quickly. Excitement and anticipation flashed in his eyes. He looked at the group of girls beside him, nodded and flew straight in. Just as he stepped in, a vast amount of demonic qi rushed over. The density of the demonic qi inside was dozens of times that of the outside world. Let's enter the central hall first and take control of the entire God Country ruins. There are many dark souls inside. There are even many high-grade spiritual herbs in the other side of the ruins of the Kingdom of God's Dark Curtain Garden. There are even quite a number of 5th or 6th level longevity herbs. Based on the memories he obtained, Wang Xian walked into the central hall with burning eyes. Even though the entire ruins of the kingdom of God had been washed away for more than 200,000 years, it still did not decay. Hiss, there are so many souls of darkness. They are actually sealed in balls. As they passed by a hall, a group of female students cried out in surprise. Even Feng Yuan was filled with shock as she watched. As expected of an expert that is close to God. Even when I was at my peak, there is still a huge gap between us. Feng Yuan's eyes flickered as she looked at the darkness souls one by one. There were a few thousand darkness souls in total. The lowest level was at the 9th level of the Profound Void tier, and there were over 100 longevity level ones. The reason why Wu Juding and the rest were able to level up so quickly is because they absorbed the darkness souls. These darkness souls are one of the most precious items in the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Wang Xian said. In the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom of Darkness, other than the darkness souls, which could be converted into dragon energy, there were also huge spiritual herbs. Other than that, there was another item that was extremely important to Wang Xian. A longevity-grade metal. The metal here was enough to upgrade the level of the Dragon Palace to level 5. Chapter 1723. 1723 1723 strength had increased tremendously. Wow, the entire ruins of the Kingdom of God is a huge treasure trove. No wonder the legends say that whoever can control the ruins of the Kingdom of God will be able to build an empire. There are too many resources in here. If the Wuji Empire can steadily increase their strength in here, they might be able to build a real empire in a few decades. Wang Xian led a group of girls to browse through the ruins of the Kingdom of God. They were shocked when they saw the buildings and all kinds of resources inside. The ruins of the Kingdom of God that spanned over 1,000 kilometers looked like a huge manor. There were powerful formations and high-grade spiritual herbs. Each of the luxurious buildings had offensive weapons that could kill those in the longevity realm. Phew, with the resources here, even without your help, I can build a real empire in 2 years at most. Feng Yuan was excited as well. You should mainly increase your strength. As for the longevity realm experts, you don't have to nurture too many of them. Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan and said, I have made some preparations in the central continent region for the revenge against the Phoenix Empire. The Nine-God Empire can go all out when the time comes. What? The Nine-God Empire? Feng Yuan was slightly taken aback. Her eyes revealed a look of disbelief. Although the Nine-God Empire is the weakest among the empires, it is only slightly weaker than the Phoenix Empire. If we have their help, you don't have to worry about the rest of the matters. Just focus on improving your strength. In terms of resources, the main focus is on improving the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian said to Feng Yuan directly. I know that the resources that are wasted in nurturing longevity experts can increase the number of longevity experts in the Dragon Palace by 2 to 3. I didn't come to the Transcendence Continent to become an empress who holds great power. I just felt indignant and wanted revenge. Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian and said slowly. Sister Feng Yuan, with US and Shaoxian around, revenge is just around the corner. Don't feel so pressured. Leave everything to Shaoxian. After you take your revenge, you can join our Dragon Palace as well. Wouldn't that be better? Guan Shuqing held Feng Yuan's arm and said. Feng Yuan smiled faintly and looked at Wang Xian. Naturally, I'll have to rely on your powerful husband's help. Without his help, I might not even be able to establish a dynasty now, let alone take revenge. With these resources, the Dragon Palace will be able to improve greatly. Our strength will be able to take a qualitative leap. Wang Xian said to Feng Yuan. Okay. Feng Yuan's eyes shone with a fiery light. Standing beside Wang Xian, the desire for revenge and the desire to establish an empire in her heart was getting smaller and smaller. She hoped that the Dragon Palace would become stronger and stronger. I want to go out first and unify the entire vast region. After that, our strength will increase even faster. Feng Yuan said to Wang Xian and the rest. Let's treat the ruins of the Divine Kingdom as the capital of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire in the future. When the time is right, we will announce the establishment of the empire. Wang Xian nodded his head. Sister Feng Yuan, we will go out with you. When the empire is established, we will be the beautiful elder group that founded the empire. The group of girls said happily in their hearts. As the 6th largest empire on the Transcendence Continent, their beautiful elder group would definitely be famous on the continent and would even be passed down through the ages. The group of girls were very happy just thinking about it. After the group of girls left, Wang Xian immediately went to the location of the Soul of Darkness. Looking at the thousands of Soul of Darkness, his eyes revealed an excited look. After devouring all of them, my realm will be able to increase by at least 2 levels, reaching the first level of longevity. The real longevity realm, coupled with the fact that I can surpass 5 levels in my combat strength, can kill a person of the 6th level of longevity. It is definitely a qualitative improvement. Wang Xian's eyes revealed a look of fanaticism. His body moved and immediately transformed into the body of a divine dragon. The huge dragon body directly devoured the souls of darkness. The sealed souls of darkness could be absorbed by the heart of darkness and could rapidly transform into dragon qi. Wang Xian opened his mouth and devoured more than a dozen of them in one go. The dragon qi was increasing at a terrifying speed. Every time he devoured more than a dozen of them, the aura on his body became heavier. Ding! Congratulations to host for achieving a breakthrough in your level. As you have comprehended the strongest aspect of light and darkness, yin and yang, the 2 extremes of yin and yang have been further strengthened, strengthening the dragon tail. Ding! Congratulations to host for strengthening the dragon's tail with the 2 extremes of yin and yang. The divine dragon's tail has been strengthened. When Wang Xian had only devoured a quarter of the dragon's tail, the system notification of an upgrade rang in his mind. At the same time, Wang Xian's body expanded once again. His entire body was enveloped by a 7-colored radiance. He did not stop and continued to devour the souls of darkness. Time passed slowly. The number of souls of darkness decreased at a terrifying speed. Ding! Congratulations to host for breaking through to the first level of longevity. Boom! When there were only about 30 souls of darkness left, a terrifying aura rushed straight from Wang Xian's body. This aura was different from the breakthrough just now. The entire aura was even more vast and terrifying. The level of the divine dragon was not as high as the half-step longevity realm. Therefore, Wang Xian's upgrade this time was equivalent to the upgrade of an ordinary creature by 2 levels. His dragon body had directly increased to a height of 2,000 meters. A 7-colored light enveloped him. It was as powerful as hell. Ding! Congratulations to host for comprehending the domain of the 7-colored dragon realm. Ding! Congratulations to host for attaining the 4th change of the divine dragon transformation. The energy of the dragon crystal has been converted into divine crystals. Ding! Congratulations to host for reaching the level of a demigod creature. You possess part of the divine characteristics. Ding! Congratulations to host for reaching the level of a demigod weapon with the 5 elements grinding. Name Wang Xian. Race, Yin-Yang 5 elements divine dragon, Mandragon unity. Level, longevity 1, 4th change of the divine dragon transformation. Divine crystal, 0, 5/1000. Supernatural ability, ruling the water tribe that is lower than your own level. Devour living things to extract divine crystals. Control of the 5 elements. Cultivation method, divine dragon transformation. Supernatural ability, soul absorbing, spirit attaching, Yin-Yang 5 elements dragon eyes. Aspect, 5 elements grinding, dragon kingdom in the palm, dragon head under the heavens, dragon body of 10,000 miles, Yin-Yang poles, Yin-Yang 5 elements arms bowl, divine dragon tail swing. Domain, rainbow dragon domain. Dragon palace, level 4. Members of Dragon Palace, 20,333. Few so powerful. Having completely broken through to the first level of longevity, Wang Xian could feel his own strength. Excitement could be seen in his eyes. The first level of longevity could kill a person of the 6th level of longevity. From the 3rd level of longevity to the 6th level of longevity, his strength had increased explosively. Especially now that Wang Xian was in control of the real domain, his teleportation range had reached 1,200 kilometers. In addition, his only weapon at the moment, the great grinding of the 5 elements, had been upgraded to a semi-divine weapon during his breakthrough. I'm one step closer to dominating the supernatural continent. The next step is to upgrade the level of the Dragon Palace and the strength of the members of the Dragon Palace. Chapter 1724. 1724 1724 strength increased drastically. The realm of longevity was also known as the demigod realm. The so-called gods could achieve a decapitation without death and a heart explosion without death. A powerful god could achieve a blood rebirth. Upon reaching the mirror of God, one would have a lifespan of 100,000 years. 100,000 years was an extremely huge number. As one of the top divine dragons in the universe, Wang Xian had broken through to the demigod realm and possessed part of the characteristics of a god. Now he possessed a terrifying recovery ability. As long as it was not a fatal injury, he could recover quickly. The demigod artifact, the 5 elements grinding, already possessed a trace of divinity. A true divine artifact possessed its own consciousness and possessed an earth-shattering attack. Upon reaching the deity realm, the standard to measure the strength of a deity was the divine kingdom and the divine artifact in one's hand. First, I will upgrade the Dragon Palace to level 5. When the Dragon Palace reaches level 5, I will have the ability to fight against the dragon race of the supernatural continent. Wang Xian sensed his powerful strength and collected the longevity level materials and the longevity level formations in the ruins of the divine kingdom. After flying out of the ruins of the divine kingdom, his mind stirred and rays of weak 7-colored light covered the surroundings. This was the 7-colored dragon territory. Wang Xian had yet to fully utilize it. With a thought, he teleported to a place 1,200 kilometers away. A second later, Wang Xian continued to teleport. In less than a minute, Wang Xian arrived directly above the Dragon Palace. At this moment, the leaders of the Dragon Palace had yet to return. They were helping Feng Yuan and the rest unify the vast continent. Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue came over and greeted respectfully. It's time to upgrade the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian looked at Prime Minister Gue and said with a smile on his face. With the sudden increase in strength and the imminent upgrade of the Dragon Palace, he was in a good mood. The Dragon Palace is about to be upgraded. A hint of excitement flashed across Prime Minister Gue's eyes as he followed quietly beside Wang Xian. Ding. Longevity level metal materials and sufficient spiritual stones found. Do you wish to upgrade the Dragon King Palace? Ding. 10 longevity level array formations and sufficient spiritual stones found. Do you wish to upgrade the Dragon King Palace? The voices of the system rang one after another. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Upgrade all of them. Ding. All buildings have been upgraded. The level of the Dragon Palace has been upgraded to level 5. Dragon Palace, level 5. Dragon Master, Wang Xian longevity first level Yin-Yang 5 elemental divine dragon. Buildings. Dragon King Hall, level 5, increases the Dragon King's cultivation speed and recovery speed by 96 times. Dragon Transformation Pool, level 5, absorbing dragon blood can give birth to a dragon seed, divine crystal, 0, 22. Dragon Gate, level 5, a fish can only become a dragon if it leaps through the dragon gate. It is effective against creatures below the divine realm. Ocean Pacifying Needle, level 5, Pillar of the Dragon Palace, pacify the Dragon Palace for 2,000 kilometers, increase the combat strength of the members of the Dragon Palace by 500%. Dragon Cave, level 5 with 50,000 dragon caves, the cultivation speed of the creatures in the Dragon Cave will be increased by 64 times. Dragon Field, level 5, practice martial arts in the Dragon Field, increase comprehension by 32 times. Dragon Array, level 5, Dragon Palace Array, concealment, defense, gathering of spiritual energy, teleportation, detection, attack. Spiritual item. Ancestral Tree, level, able to return to the spirit realm and below. Activated spiritual intelligence of living creatures. Increases the speed of fire attribute cultivators by 200%. Attached, Dragon Transformation Pool to nurture dragon seeds. Current dragon seeds, golden swordfish, thunder shrimp, demon monkey, strange demon, light spike, hydra, dragon turtle, yaksha, clam girl, golden lobster, starwood dragon seed, fire phoenix dragon seed. Boom. The moment the Dragon Palace was upgraded, a surge of terrifying spiritual energy charged straight at them. The surrounding tens of thousands of kilometers of spiritual energy surged straight at them, causing the spiritual energy in the Dragon Palace to double. In the Dragon King Palace, one day of Wang Xian's cultivation was equivalent to 90 days of cultivation in the outside world. In the Dragon Cave, one day of cultivation by the members of the Dragon Palace was equivalent to 64 days in the outside world. With such a terrifying increase, even if the members of the Dragon Palace had been cultivating in the Dragon Cave, they would still be able to reach the realm of longevity after 10 years. This was the strength of the Dragon Palace. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom was several times weaker than the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian moved and arrived above the Dragon Palace. He looked down at the vast Dragon Palace. The entire Dragon Palace had expanded from a few hundred kilometers to a range of 1,000 kilometers. The 10,000-meter-tall ocean-pacifying divine needles and the towering buildings had reached 1,000 to 2,000 meters. The majestic Dragon King Hall and the mysterious and powerful Dragon Cave. The 9 dragon pillars of the divine dragons and the golden blood flowing in the mysterious dragon transformation pool. Everything was like the divine palace in the legends. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom could not be compared to the current Dragon Palace. I look forward to the day when the Dragon Palace turns into the Divine Kingdom. Wang Xian looked down at his palace with a twinkle in his eyes. A smile appeared on his face. Next is the time to upgrade the members of the Dragon Palace. After that, I will develop steadily for a period of time. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a flash, he appeared 1,200 kilometers away. In less than a minute, Wang Xian appeared above Dragon and Phoenix City. At this moment, there weren't many people in Dragon and Phoenix City. With a flash, he arrived at Wuxia City. Feng Yuan and a group of girls were ordering their subordinates to take over Wuxia City. Little Xian, your temperament seems to have changed a lot. Seeing Wang Xian coming over, the group of girls looked over and immediately asked with sparkling eyes. The current Wang Xian had broken through to the realm of longevity. He already possessed a trace of divinity in his body. His entire person was more noble than before. The colorful dragon robe draped over his body and his handsome face made all the girls' eyes light up. It was not an exaggeration to say that Wang Xian was a peerless beauty. It was not a problem for him to claim to be the most handsome man in the transcendental continent. Haha, how are the matters here being handled? Wang Xian laughed and asked. It will take at least 10 days to completely subdue the vast region. In addition to some trivial matters, it will take at least a month to settle. Feng Yuan said to him. I'll leave the matters outside to you. I'll take Shu Qing and the rest back. Wang Xian said to Feng Yuan and winked at the girls. At this moment 8 of them rolled their eyes. Feng Yuan looked at him speechlessly and shook her head helplessly. You can go. I'll look for you guys in the Dragon Palace in a month's time. I hope that you guys can settle your matters properly. Feng Yuan mocked them with a hint of meaning. Hee, let's go, wives. Wang Xian waved his arm and disappeared instantly. Feng Yuan watched them disappear directly. Her face turned slightly red and a hint of envy flashed across her face. Following that, she shook her head and regained her dignified look. After returning to the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian gathered all the members of the Dragon Palace. He gathered a portion of the spiritual herbs from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, along with the 4 longevity realm corpses of Wuju and the 200,000 corpses. The strength of the members of the Dragon Palace also rose rapidly. 4 corpses of the longevity realm were enough for the Dragon Palace to produce 2 longevity realm experts. In addition to the terrifying resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, the longevity experts of the Dragon Palace were born one by one. Chapter 1725. 1725 Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Time passed slowly. After the 4 longevity experts of the Wuji Empire were killed by Wang Xian, the entire vast region was shocked. After everyone was shocked that the Wuji Empire, which had been established for a day, was destroyed, Feng Yuan unified the entire vast region in an orderly manner. With the destruction of the Wuji Empire and the killing of all the experts, no faction in the entire vast region dared to defy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. All the sects and families obediently joined the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Half a month later, the entire vast region was completely unified. In the next half a month, the entire vast region was visited by tens of thousands of cities. All the experts and city lords of the cities came to pay their respects. The imperial city of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had been relocated to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. As the ruins of the Divine Kingdom with a radius of several thousand kilometers, It was more than enough to serve as the imperial city of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Phew, everything is finally settled. After more than a month, Feng Yuan came to the Dragon Palace. Looking at the group of girls who were eating delicious food with Wang Xian, she walked over and said with a smile, "Sister Feng Yuan, come and eat delicious food together. You must be exhausted from the past month. We can't help much." The group of girls immediately called her over. In the past month, Wang Xian had been staying in the Dragon Palace. The group of girls had made a few trips to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. However, they weren't of much help. "It's all right. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire is on the right track now." Feng Yuan walked over with a smile and sat at the side. After unifying the vast region and adding the flowing sea region, the territory of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire wasn't any smaller than that of the Phoenix Empire. The only difference was that their overall strength was much weaker. "That's good. Sister Feng Yuan, you should stay in the Dragon Palace more often. The Dragon Palace has already leveled up. Cultivating here for a day is equivalent to cultivating in the outside world for more than 90 days. Guan Shuqing said with a smile. Feng Yuan nodded. When she arrived above the Dragon Palace, her face was full of shock. Feeling the vast energy of the Dragon Palace, she was absolutely sure that the current Dragon Palace was even stronger than the Phoenix Empire's imperial city. The resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom can allow the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to nurture 5 longevity experts. It can allow my strength to reach around the 3rd level of longevity. I'm very close to my peak. Wang Xian, I plan to get the Fire Lark tribe to come over after a period of time. In addition, I want to build an empire. With the ruins of the Divine Kingdom as the imperial city, even if the Phoenix Empire knows that I'm still alive, they won't be able to do anything. Feng Yuan hesitated for a moment and said to Wang Xian, "When are you planning to build an empire?" Wang Xian asked her. "I think it will take more than a year." Feng Yuan muttered. "Sure." Wang Xian nodded. "At most 2 years, the Dragon Palace might be moving to the Sea of Extraordinariness." Sea of Extraordinariness? That's the territory of the Dragon Tribe. All the demonic beasts and ferocious beasts are under the control of the Dragon Tribe. As far as I know, there might be more than 1,000 longevity experts of the Dragon Tribe. It's very terrifying. Feng Yuan said in surprise. What? Thousands of longevity experts? The group of girls were slightly shocked. The dragon race is stronger than you think. However, I once said that after 10 years, we will stand at the top of the continent. Now 6 years have passed. Wang Xian smiled and said faintly. That's right. We have been here for 6 years. Time flies. The group of girls nodded their heads with emotion. In the following period of time, cultivate well. Wang Xian said to the group of girls. It was just as he said. After the vast area was unified, there were no more disputes. Wang Xian and the group of girls either cultivated or slept together. In the Dragon Palace that was 1,000 kilometers away, Wang Xian planted all the spiritual herbs and trees that he obtained from the Life and Death Elixir workshop in the Dragon Palace. At the same time, Feng Yuan also planted all the medicinal pills in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom into the Dragon Palace. Perhaps it was because of the ancestral tree and the terrifying spiritual energy of the Dragon Palace. The growth rate of these spiritual herbs in the Dragon Palace was hundreds of times faster than the outside world. The weapon refining workshop of the Dragon Palace had been opened in every city in the vast region. The resources that were obtained every day were twice as much as before. The entire Dragon Palace was thriving and its strength was increasing every day. The resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom had quickly transformed into the strength of the Dragon Palace. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire was getting stronger and stronger as well. All kinds of experts were emerging one after another. It's about time. In a flash, 2 years had passed. Feng Yuan flew out from the Dragon Transformation Pool. She looked at Wang Xian, Guan Shuqing, and the rest beside the Dragon Transformation Pool and said with a smile on her face. It's about time. Wang Xian nodded his head. 2 years had passed. The Dragon Palace had been developing quietly for 2 years, and the Dragon Phoenix Empire had also developed for 2 years. Through the resources in the Divine Kingdom ruins, the Dragon Phoenix Empire had nurtured 5 longevity experts. Feng Yuan's strength had also broken through to the 3rd level of longevity. The 3rd level of longevity. If she were to transform into a fire phoenix, she would be able to fight against the 4th level of longevity. At her peak, Feng Yuan's strength was at level 5 of longevity. There was only a difference of 1 level. As for the strength of the Dragon Palace, it had also received a terrifying increase. Including Xiaolan, there were already 24 people at the level of longevity. Although all of them were at level 1 of longevity, they were able to fight against enemies at level 2 of longevity. There were 12 leaders of the Dragon Palace, 9 flood dragons, Ao Crab, Lan Qingyue and Xiaolan. Wang Xian himself was not included. His strength had not improved in the past 2 years. As for the rest of the members of the Dragon Palace, each of them had improved by at least 2 levels. The establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire is not something that is casually announced. This time it will be announced to the world. I will invite the other 5 empires on the continent to come and watch the ceremony. I will invite all the factions in the entire Transcendence continent. Feng Yuan's eyes sparkled. When the Phoenix Empire was established, all the factions on the Transcendence continent came to attend the ceremony. With the approval of all the factions, the Phoenix Empire became the 5th empire on the continent. This time, she was using the same method to announce the establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire to the entire Transcendence continent. Why don't you announce your identity in advance and see how the Phoenix Empire will react? Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and said to Feng Yuan. Thank you, Xiao Xian. Feng Yuan was slightly stunned when she heard Wang Xian's words. She looked at him in a daze and ran her hand through her hair as she said softly. She knew what Wang Xian meant. Once she revealed her identity, the real revenge would begin. With the strength of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, it was not enough to go against the Phoenix Empire. Since Wang Xian had said it, it meant that the Dragon Palace would be her strongest backing. However, I plan to announce it to the world on the day of the Empire's establishment. Announce to everyone that I, Feng Yuan, have returned. I want everyone to know that I will get back what I lost. Feng Yuan had a determined look on her face. Her eyes were sparkling as she continued, I really want to know how the Phoenix Empire will react at that time. Wang Xian nodded silently and supported her decision. Chapter 1726 1726 In the 1726 Dragon Phoenix Empire. Our Empress has announced that we will establish an empire in a month's time. We will become the 6th largest empire on the continent. Haha, in the past 2 years, our Dragon Phoenix Empire has produced 5 experts of the longevity realm. Moreover, our Empress' strength is even more terrifying. Together with our Lord Wang, we are completely comparable to the other empires on the continent. That's right. Haha, I never thought that we would one day become citizens of an empire. I followed our Empress all the way from a small dynasty in a city to the unification of the Flowing Sea region, and finally to the unification of a vast region. Now that we've established an empire, it's only been 8 years. This is simply too terrifying. That's right. From a dynasty to an empire, it's only taken 8 years. Just thinking about it makes me a little incredulous. Haha, in that case I can be considered as a contributor to the founding of the empire. Moreover, the establishment of our empire this time is not something that the trash empire of Wuxia can compare to. Our Empress wants to invite all the powerful factions of the empires in the Transcendence continent to attend the ceremony. She wants to be acknowledged by the entire Transcendence continent. The next day, after Feng Yuan and Wang Xian discussed the date of the establishment of the empire, they immediately announced it to the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire. When the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire heard the news, they were all excited. Especially those soldiers who had followed the Empress all the way here. Their faces were filled with pride and pride. Their country was about to advance to the 6th empire on the continent. Unlike the Wuxia Empire, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would invite all the powers on the Transcendence continent to come and watch the ceremony. 5 longevity-level experts had already gone to the Central Continent region to invite the 5 empires and other powers. At the same time, not only the Central Continent region, but other regions of the same level as the vast region were also invited. The establishment of the empire this time would invite all the factions on the continent. On the first day of Feng Yuan's announcement, the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire had already started to make preparations for the grand event in a month's time. Jubilation and excitement filled the entire vast region. From the dynasty to the empire, it only took 8 years. This was a grand occasion for the entire vast region. Seniors, I'll go inform the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the 9 God Empire. I'll leave the rest to you. In the central continent region, Feng Ling Tian said to the other elders with a smile. All right, Brother Feng, let's part ways for now. The four elders nodded at Feng Ling Tian. Let's make a trip to the Nine-God Empire first, and then go to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Feng Ling Tian thought to himself. His body moved and he quickly flew towards the Nine-God Empire. Feng Ling Tian had always been working in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, so Feng Yuan had raised his strength to the first rank of longevity. He flew to the Nine-God Empire. When the news reached there, Mo Sha immediately received it personally after receiving the news. He was not too surprised when the Dragon and Phoenix Empire announced that they had become an empire. In the past 2 years, due to Wang Xian, Mo Sha had a detailed understanding of the vast region. Mo Sha was also very clear about the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. However, what made him curious was the identity of the Empress of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. In the end, he blamed the Dragon Phoenix Empress on the position of his boss's old lover. It was naturally easy for his boss to establish an empire. Brother Feng, go back and tell the Dragon Phoenix Empress that our Nine-God Empire will naturally prepare a generous gift to congratulate the establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Mo Sha said to Feng Ling Tian with a face full of enthusiasm. This made Feng Ling Tian feel flattered. He never expected that the Emperor of the Nine-God Empire would actually be so easy to talk to and so polite. This was an existence that was several levels higher than him, the Emperor of an empire that had existed on the continent for hundreds of thousands of years. All right. I will thank the Nine-God Emperor on behalf of our Empress for coming to watch the ceremony. Feng Ling Tian said respectfully. No need. Mo Sha smiled and waved his hand. In the end, Feng Ling Tian was sent out of the Nine-God Empire by Mo Sha's enthusiasm. This Nine-God Emperor is a little strange. Forget it, let's go to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Feng Ling Tian muttered. His body moved and he immediately flew into the Weapon Peak. He did not know the relationship between Mo Sha and Wang Xian. If he knew, he would not find it strange. The Weapon Peak was where the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was currently located. Ever since the Fire Cloud Mountain Range was occupied by the Phoenix Dynasty and the Sacred Fire Clan, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan could only move to the Weapon Peak. They relied on the protection of the Nine-God Empire to survive. Members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, an envoy from the Dragon Phoenix Empire has come to pay a visit. When Feng Ling Tian arrived at the empty Weapon Peak, he immediately spoke. He also knew that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was the most loyal subordinate of Empress Feng Yuan. Dragon Phoenix Empire? Patriarch Feng Yun, who was at the peak of the Weapon Peak, was slightly stunned when he heard Feng Ling Tian's words. His face revealed a look of joy. Envoy of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, welcome. Feng Yun hurriedly shouted and floated at the peak to welcome him. This must be Senior Feng Yun. Feng Ling Tian looked at Feng Yun, cupped his hands and asked with a smile. Yes, this old man. Young friend, come in and talk. Patriarch Feng Yun nodded and invited him. Okay. Feng Ling Tian nodded and entered the Weapon Peak. Some of the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan heard their conversation and their eyes sparkled. A look of anticipation appeared on their faces. Senior Feng Yun, in the name of the Empress, I am here to inform you that the Dragon Phoenix Empire will be established in a month. The Empress said that you can come back. Entering a study room on the Weapon Peak, Feng Ling Tian said directly. The Dragon Phoenix Empire is established. Patriarch Feng Yun was instantly stunned when he heard Feng Ling Tian's words, and tears immediately followed. Our Hoyun can finally return to the Empress's side again. Feng Yun raised her head, and her body trembled slightly. It has been more than 1,800 years. She sighed heavily. Senior Feng Yun, this is something to be happy about. The Empress has asked me to bring the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan back. Feng Ling Tian looked at the loyal Feng Yun, his heart filled with admiration. Haha, that's right, this old man is being too pretentious. Dragon Phoenix Empire, haha, Dragon Phoenix Empire. Feng Yun laughed heartily and said with some anticipation, Little friend, wait a moment. I will immediately get the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to prepare. We will head to the Dragon Phoenix Empire today. All right. Feng Ling Tian nodded with a smile. Feng Yun did not care about his impoliteness and immediately flew out to gather all the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Immediately get all the clansmen to prepare. Today we will head to the vast region and head to the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Feng Yun immediately gave an order. Patriarch, is this the Empress's summons? The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan elders revealed excited expressions. Feng Yun solemnly nodded his head. The Empress's call. Their Fire Cloud personal guards had returned. Chapter 1727. 1727 Under the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Citizens of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, let's set off. In front of the weapon peak, there were over 10 million citizens of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan as well as people from the two forces that relied on the Fire Cloud Sparrow. Everyone brought along all of the Fire Cloud Sparrow's belongings and stood there in an orderly fashion. Over 10 million people, men, women, old and young, were densely packed together. Let's go. The weak entered the airship while the strong flew in the air. Feng Yun used her powerful strength to build a fire cloud that floated in the air. Feng Lingtian also used his strength to form a hurricane that carried a large number of people. On the transcendental continent, the migration of tens of millions of people was not as difficult as one would imagine if the longevity experts were here. Feng Lingtian and Feng Yun used their domains and were able to bring 7 to 8 million people. The other 3 to 4 million people were also able to travel quickly under the leadership of the insightful Void Realm experts and airships. However, the migration of more than 10 million people still belonged to a huge race. Where are we going? Why are all of us migrating? I don't know. This is the Elder Ancestors' order. Moreover, that expert who came today seems to be an emissary of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Let's not talk about it. Just listen to the Patriarch's order. Except for the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the others didn't know the purpose of their trip. The group of people flew toward the extraordinary sea in a mighty way. Why did the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan migrate all of them? And who is that powerhouse? At this moment, at a secret location beside the weapon peak, a few sneaky figures looked at the migrating Fire Cloud Sparrow clan with a surprised expression. Immediately report to the Patriarch. In the past 10 years, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has been somewhat strange, as if they are hiding something. An old man in the middle frowned and immediately said. The others nodded in agreement. They were sent by the Sacred Fire clan to monitor the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Ever since the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan killed 2,000 disciples of the Sacred Fire clan, the enmity between the two clans had been formed. The Sacred Fire clan had used the Phoenix dynasty to seize the Fire Cloud Sparrow mountain range, and the relationship between the two clans could be considered to have been completely torn apart. The Sacred Fire clan had also raised their vigilance towards the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. The main purpose of sending people over was to find that terrifying assassin organization. During the battle between the Fire Cloud Sparrow and the two great forces, they still remembered that a terrifying assassin organization had assassinated millions of people overnight. However, they hadn't found any trace of that assassin organization in the past 2 years. Senior brother, should we continue to follow them? A person next to him asked the old man in the middle. No need. With our strength, we'll be easily discovered. The old man shook his head and immediately passed the news to the higher-ups of the clan. The Sacred Fire clan paid great attention to the migration of the entire Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the sudden appearance of a longevity expert. More than 10 million clan members have been relocated? What is the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan doing? When the Sacred Fire clan's news reached the Sacred Fire Patriarch, she revealed a thoughtful expression. Patriarch, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has been very strange recently. They dare to clash head-on with the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop just because of some trivial matters. The assassin organization that suddenly appeared to help them, that mysterious youth, and we discovered that the relationship between the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the Nine God Empire isn't as good as we imagined. The Sacred Fire clan elder in front frowned. I have a feeling that they are hiding something. The Sacred Fire clan elder nodded slowly. Then elder, what about us now? The Sacred Fire clan elder looked over in puzzlement. The masked assassin that we planted in the Fire Young clan has not been discovered, right? The Sacred Fire clan elder asked indifferently. No. Sacred Flame Patriarch shook his head. Just send someone to pay attention to the direction of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. There's no need to ask anything else. Sacred Flame Patriarch said indifferently. It's Patriarch. The Patriarch nodded respectfully and retreated. Feng Yun, What the hell have you been up to recently? Sacred Flame Patriarch muttered softly. Feng Ling Tian and the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow race rushed towards the vast region. Due to the migration of more than 10 million people, it would take them at least 10 days to arrive, even if they were to be carried by 2 longevity experts. However, when they were about to arrive, Xiaolan would come over to welcome them, reducing their journey by 4 to 5 days. As they rushed towards the vast region, the other 4 longevity experts from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire also arrived at the various empires. When all the empires and powerful experts learned that an empire was about to be established in the vast region, shock appeared on their faces. For an empire to be established, one had to have at least 7 or 8 longevity experts. Furthermore, the emperor's strength had to be at least at the 3rd or 4th stage of the longevity realm. Only then would one have the strength to be called an empire. However, when they saw the confident expression on the Dragon Phoenix Empire's envoy's face, their hearts trembled slightly. A new empire, the 6th great empire on the transcendental continent, many factions naturally had to go there to understand it. Even the 5 great empires had promised to attend the ceremony on the spot. This was because they had to understand the empire that had suddenly appeared. The name of the Dragon Phoenix Empire instantly entered the eyes of all the powerful factions on the transcendental continent. Patriarch, Emperor Phoenix wants you to come into the palace. A day later, a clan elder of the Sacred Fire clan reported to Patriarch Sacred Fire. Oh, what's the matter, Emperor Phoenix? Patriarch Sacred Fire stood up with a trace of curiosity on his face. Her figure moved and she instantly rushed toward the imperial capital of the Phoenix Empire. When she entered the Phoenix Palace, she found that other than her, 16 other figures had already arrived. Emperor Phoenix, who was covered in flames, sat on the main seat. Sacred Flame, take a seat. I called you all here today because there's nothing else. There's a Dragon and Phoenix Empire in the vast region that has announced the establishment of an empire. They've invited us over to watch the ceremony. Which one of you will go and take a look? A steady voice came out from Emperor Phoenix's mouth, which was covered in flames. Empire? The 6th largest empire in the continent? There's actually a faction in the vast region that has established an empire. Could it be that the ruins of the divine kingdom over there have been taken over? The 17 people were slightly taken aback as astonishment appeared on their faces. The establishment of an empire was a sensational matter for the entire transcendental continent. Vast region? Dragon Phoenix Empire? Sacred Flame Patriarch fell into deep thought when he heard the news. Emperor Phoenix, have you received any news about the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe's migration of tens of millions of people to the vast region? The Sacred Flame Ancestor suddenly asked Emperor Phoenix. Oh? When did the migration of tens of millions of people from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan happen? The figure shrouded in flames replied curiously. It was obvious that he did not know about it. I only found out about their migration to the vast region this morning. Now, I hear that an empire has been established in the vast region. Isn't this a little too much of a coincidence? The eyes of the Sacred Flame Patriarch flickered as he spoke. Chapter 1728. 1728. The identity of the Fire Cloud Empress was revealed. In the past, the Sacred Fire clan of the Phoenix dynasty didn't pay much attention to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. After all, for more than 1,800 years, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had been living in seclusion and didn't have any contact with the outside world. They didn't pay much attention to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan until 10 years ago when they entered the human realm. But after their war with the 2 great powers and killing the experts of the Sacred Fire clan, it attracted some attention. Especially the Sacred Fire clan, they were still brooding over this. Oh, then get people to pay attention to the Sacred Fire clan. This time, for the matter of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the Sacred Fire clan, you can go. The flame-shrouded Emperor Phoenix said indifferently. It's Emperor Phoenix. Sacred Flame Patriarch nodded and looked at another old woman. Tianyin, come with me. Okay, hee. Tianyin, another longevity expert of the Phoenix dynasty, smiled and nodded indifferently. Leave. Emperor Phoenix, who was shrouded in flames, said and disappeared instantly. Our Emperor Phoenix's strength is getting stronger and stronger. When the sacred flame saw the flames dissipate, he revealed a faint smile. Oh my god, what a terrifying behemoth. It's actually more than 20,000 meters in size. Isn't this too terrifying? Hiss, what behemoth is this? When did our transcendent continent have such a terrifying behemoth? And at that moment, at the boundary between the transcendent sea and the desolate sea, a behemoth was suspended in the sky. All the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan were shocked when they saw the giant beast. A giant beast that was 20,000 meters in size was like a giant beast in space. All the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan stared at it in shock. Among the 10 million Fire Cloud Sparrow clan members, there were a few others who were shocked. Sister-in-law Lan Qingyue. Feng Lingtian saw little Lan and immediately shouted with a smile. Sister Feng Yuan asked me to come and pick you up. Lan Qingyue nodded at Feng Yun and the others with a smile. Miss Lan, thank you so much. Feng Yun also glanced at Lan Qingyue and little Lan under her in shock with a smile on her face. It was her first time seeing Lan Qingyue and she knew that this was young Master Wang's wife. If you have anything to say, let's talk about it when we get back. Lan Qingyue smiled. Let the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan come up. It's Miss Lan. Feng Yun nodded, and immediately let the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan come up to little Lan's body. Heavens, this giant beast's longevity realm expert. That senior Lan who spoke to our ancestor just now should also be in the longevity realm. Where exactly are we going? The Fire Cloud Sparrow race members were filled with shock. In particular, some people noticed a word, Sister Feng Yuan. Everyone knew what was unexpected about the word Feng Yuan. Some of the Fire Cloud Sparrow race experts' eyes flickered with light as they faintly guessed something. Feng Yuan, isn't that the former #1 great empress of the eternal world? The tens of millions of people muttered as their eyes flickered. With Lan Qingyue coming over to welcome them and Little Blue around, their speed increased by a lot. The journey that originally required 17 to 18 days was now shortened to 12 to 13 days. The vast region was getting closer and closer, and the Divine Kingdom ruins were also getting closer and closer. There are still about 100 kilometers left. On the 13th day, Feng Lingtian said to Feng Yun and the others. Who? Feng Yun stood on Little Blue's body and looked ahead. Her breathing was slightly hurried. Her eyes were filled with excitement. They were getting closer and closer to the Divine Kingdom ruins. The elders of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan all came to Patriarch Feng Yun's back. They stood quietly behind and looked ahead. Oh, what are Patriarch and the others doing? The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan looked at Patriarch Feng Yun and the elders with a surprised expression. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom appeared in their line of sight. At this moment, the ruins of the Divine Kingdom could already be called the imperial capital of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Sister Feng Yuan has already prepared the place where you will be staying. Lan Qingyue said to Feng Yun and the others as she led them towards a location in the imperial capital. There, an area of 100 kilometers had already been cleared out, which was prepared for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. In the sky above that place, a figure was quietly floating. A fiery red phoenix robe wearing a veil and an incomparably noble figure. Ma Empress. Seeing this scene, Feng Yun could not help but burst into tears, tears flowing down her face. The elders' faces were also filled with excitement. Everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan looked at the abnormal ancestor with shock on their faces. Everyone come down. A cold voice came from the Fire Cloud Queen's mouth. Over 10 million people from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan came down from Little Blue's body with stunned expressions. They floated in the sky. There were old people and children. Many children were still in their swaddling clothes. More than 10 million people stood in front of Feng Yuan. Many of them were filled with confusion. Feng Yun, bring all the Fire Cloud Sparrow clansmen to pay respects to the Empress. The Fire Cloud Personal Guard has returned. We respectfully welcome the Empress's return. We pledge our loyalty to the Empress to the death. Feng Yun knelt in the air with tears on her face. Her body trembled as she bowed to Feng Yuan. You have been quiet for more than 1,000 years. Only Hui Yun is here. Feng Yuan slowly took off her veil and her eyes flickered as she looked at everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. When the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan heard the ancestor's words, they saw the ancestor kneel down. When they saw Feng Yuan take off her veil and reveal that face that left a deep impression on them. Everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan felt as if their minds had exploded. Female. Empress. Everyone's bodies trembled as they stared blankly at the figure in front of them. The Empress has returned. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow race will pledge our loyalty to her to the death. Where are the Fire Cloud personal guards? The Fire Cloud Queen roared in excitement. As soon as she finished speaking, she directly knelt in the air. The Fire Cloud personal guards are here. They will pledge their loyalty to the Empress to the death. All the Fire Cloud Sparrow people were filled with excitement when they saw this scene. Some of the middle-aged and old men who had fought alongside the Empress during the era of the Empress were so excited that they even shed tears. They directly half-knelt on the ground and looked in Feng Yuan's direction as they shouted at the top of their lungs. The Fire Cloud personal guards are here and swear to be loyal to the great Empress to the death. Over 10 million people knelt in the air and shouted at the top of their lungs. If it wasn't for the barrier of the array formation, their voices would definitely have spread over tens of thousands of kilometers. It's been hard on all of you. I'm back. Feng Yuan also said with an excited expression. She slowly walked to Feng Yun's side and helped her up. In the future, we will continue to conquer the world. Feng Yuan looked at her closest subordinate and gently wiped her tears. The Empress is here, our Fire Cloud personal guards are here. Feng Yun said solemnly. Behind them, everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was filled with tears. They never expected that the Empress was actually still alive. The Empress who single-handedly saved their Fire Cloud Sparrow clan from danger. The Empress who made their Fire Lark clan stand at the peak of the continent. The Empress whom their Fire Lark clan swore to follow to the death. She's back. Chapter 1729. 1729 Fire Cloud 1729's identity as the Empress was revealed. Let's go home. Feng Yuan said to Feng Yuan and everyone else from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Her body moved and she flew down. Feng Yun and the other members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan immediately followed and flew down. Everyone's eyes were burning with excitement as they stared at the Empress's figure. 10 years ago the Empress had already returned. However, due to some special reasons, the Empress cannot reveal her identity. During these 10 years, the Empress has been gathering her strength. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has also been secretly assisting the Empress. It was only until today that we were able to meet the Empress openly. A clan elder's voice entered everyone's ears. The Empress only returned 10 years ago. Why can't the Empress reveal her identity? More than 1,800 years ago, the current Empress Feng announced the Empress's death. Is it? Some of the Fire Lark clan's experts guessed with faces full of anger. That's right. Our Empress must have been harmed by a treacherous person at that time. Damn it. Now, our Empress has established the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Haha, on the continent, there are only 2 Empress who are our Empress. Some of the clansmen were furious while others were happy. Among the tens of millions of people, there were some who revealed shocked expressions. Their eyes were filled with incredulity. The great Empress, who had been around for more than 1,800 years, had returned. And she had established another empire. This was simply inconceivable to the entire Transcendence continent. Especially to the Phoenix dynasty. Their eyes flashed with light. If this news was sold to the Phoenix dynasty and the Sacred Fire clan, they would definitely be able to obtain a terrifying price. The news of the arrival of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was sealed in the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Therefore, other than the generals and ministers, no one else knew of the arrival of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. After settling the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the Fire Cloud personal guards had completely returned. The Dragon Phoenix Empire's personal guards were quietly established. The entire Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was bustling with excitement. However, on the second day, a few figures quietly left and quickly flew towards the central continent region. Feng Yuan didn't know that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had a mole or a masked assassin organization. However, even if she knew, she wouldn't take it to heart. Currently, there were only a dozen or so days before the Dragon Phoenix Empire was established. In these dozen or so days, the other forces wouldn't be able to find anything. Moreover, on the day of the founding of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, she would officially announce that she, Feng Yuan, had returned. The masked assassins group also knew that time was extremely tight, so they desperately flew towards the central continent region. The day of the founding of the Dragon Phoenix Empire was getting closer and closer, and the surroundings of the entire imperial capital were becoming more and more lively. Almost all the powerful people from the entire vast region had arrived, and some of the powerful families and sects from the Luhai region had also rushed over. When there were still 9 days left until the establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the masked assassins finally arrived at the central continent region, exhausted. What? This is impossible. This is impossible. When the news was transmitted to the Sacred Flame clan, the Sacred Flame Patriarch suddenly stood up. Her face revealed a savage and incredulous expression. You? She roared loudly, her body trembling. When she heard this news, she couldn't believe it at all. But when she thought of the recent abnormal behavior of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, her heart became even more terrified. Their empress was actually still alive. Moreover, she had even established a Dragon Phoenix Empire. Her first reaction wasn't excitement but fear. That's right, fear. She knew how the empress had fallen. Patriarch, Emperor Feng wants you to rush over immediately. At this moment, the voice of a clan elder came from outside. Buzz. The Sacred Flame Patriarch didn't dare to stay any longer and instantly teleported towards the imperial capital. She even hastily teleported into the imperial study. When her figure arrived at the imperial study, she discovered that 16 figures were already seated inside. Their faces were all extremely embarrassed. In the center, Emperor Phoenix, who was enveloped in flames, the flames around him were constantly trembling. Boom! All of a sudden, the flames around Emperor Phoenix dissipated. All of you beloved ministers have arrived. At the very front of the Phoenix Palace, a middle-aged man with a beard instantly appeared on the dragon throne. A hoarse voice came from his mouth. He had a pair of fiery red eyes. At the spot between his brows, an irritable fire phoenix was dancing. His entire person was like a flame that was about to explode. Other than the Sacred Flame Ancestor, the other 16 figures had puzzled expressions on their faces. They had not seen the Phoenix Emperor in such an angry manner for a long time. How can this be? Phoenix Emperor, how can she still be alive? How can she still be alive? At this moment, the Sacred Flame Ancestor, who was filled with anxiety, shouted out in excitement and fear. Seeing her lose her composure, the other 16 figures also looked over in shock. How do I know? How do I know that she's still alive? She was clearly killed by me, why would she suddenly appear again? Feng Wan. Emperor Feng roared with a ferocious expression as his palm heavily landed on the chair. The indestructible dragon chair was directly broken into half. What? The Empress is still alive? How is this possible? In the imperial study, the other 16 figures trembled as shock appeared on their faces. Their expressions began to change drastically. Emperor Feng, you killed the Empress back then. Now the Empress will definitely come for revenge. The Empress dared to establish an empire once again. This means that she has already reached the peak. If Emperor Feng is unable to resolve this, an elder said in a low voice with an abnormally ugly expression. Shut up. Before he could finish his words, Emperor Feng stood up and roared ferociously. When she was still in power, she said that the emperor broke the law and committed the same crime as the common people. Even a bunch of old people like you who followed her didn't have much privileges. Now look at your own family. Think about the past 1,000 years. These were all given to you by me. What? Are you going to submit to your great empress now? Feng Wan's appearance made him lose control of his expression. The 17 figures were silent. Their expressions kept changing. There is no more great empress in this world, and it is impossible for there to be another great empress. Sacred Flame Ancestor said with a twisted expression. Flames danced on his body. You have to know that Feng Wan's parents and other relatives were all secretly dealt with by you. Now, none of you can think of getting rid of them. Either she dies or all of you die. Emperor Feng stood up and glanced at all of them with an abnormally sinister expression. Everyone's figures trembled. Although they had dealt with Feng Wan's family in the dark under Emperor Feng's threat, they were still the ones who had done it. However, this was after all done by them. They knew that with the Empress's personality, she would definitely not let them off. The Sacred Flame is right. There is no longer an Empress in the world, and it is impossible for there to be another Empress. Everyone looked at each other and said coldly, Chapter 1730. 1730. The 1730 continent's forces gathered. We don't need to be too afraid. No matter how powerful Feng Yuan is, even if she used more than 1,000 years to establish an empire, she is definitely not a match for us. Moreover, with Emperor Feng's current strength, we don't need to be afraid at all. The Emperor Master of the Feng dynasty said indifferently to everyone. That's right, we can use the establishment of the Dragon Phoenix Empire to investigate her forces. After we understand in detail, we can act again. The eyes of the other white-clothed elder flashed with brilliance. No, this emperor can't wait that long. Moreover, we absolutely can't let the other people of the Phoenix dynasty know that she's still alive. During the establishment ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire this time, this emperor will annihilate them all, not leaving a single one alive. Emperor Feng's expression was ice-cold as he roared in a low voice. The moment he learned that Feng Yuan was still alive, he had already decided to kill her as soon as possible. He couldn't let the people of the Feng dynasty know that Feng Yuan was still alive. He couldn't let her continue to develop. The Feng dynasty was built by that woman alone. If the entire empire knew that their empress was still alive. If they knew the truth, who knew how many legions would submit to that woman? And who knew how many people would directly submit to the Dragon Phoenix Empire? The #1 empress of all time, her magnificence was unmatched in the generations. Even he himself was stunned. In fact, the moment he heard the news, he was a little afraid. However, after stabilizing his emotions, he was full of confidence in killing the former empress. In fact, he was 100% confident. Emperor Phoenix, aren't we too anxious to attack during the ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire's establishment? There are only 8 days left until the ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. After we arrive there, the ceremony has basically begun. Right now, we know nothing about Feng Yuan's strength and influence. If we act rashly, there will be a great risk. The Emperor of the Phoenix dynasty immediately said with a frown. Risk? If we can't destroy her even if we mobilize all our forces this time, then we'll just wait to be destroyed. Emperor Feng said coldly, the corners of his mouth curling up slightly as he said confidently, however, this time we won't lose. Huh? Everyone looked at Emperor Feng with some surprise. Bring all the experts in your clan with you. We'll set off tomorrow. Hehe, Dragon Phoenix Empire? This time I'll let you all be destroyed on the day you establish it. Emperor Feng said proudly. It's Emperor Feng. The 17 people were a bit surprised, but seeing the confident Emperor Feng, they felt much more relaxed. They bowed and immediately left to prepare for the next thing. Feng Yuan, oh Feng Yuan, how could I dare to attack you with my courage and strength back then? Not only do I want to obtain your bloodline, but I also want them. This may be something you never thought of. Emperor Phoenix muttered as he sat there, his eyes revealing an ice-cold expression. He was filled with confidence in destroying that woman. 9 Heavens demonic bird, lord of all demons. I don't know if our luck is good or bad. Time slowly passed, and it was getting closer and closer to the founding ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The empires from the central continent, as well as the various major powers from the other regions, all arrived at the vast region one by one. In the sky above the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire, all kinds of demonic beasts were running around. There were also a few figures of longevity experts who were rarely seen in the vast region. The powers from the entire Transcendence continent are gathering. In order to prevent any accidents or disputes, I will send the Dragon Guard Long Ci and the others to monitor the surroundings. In the center of the imperial capital, there were still 3 days before the founding ceremony of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. At this time, Wang Xian had also rushed over. The founding of the empire was a major event. With the gathering of all the powers in the Transcendence continent, the Dragon Phoenix Empire had to display the splendor of the empire. And with the current strength of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, it was not enough to intimidate the other powers. Therefore, Wang Xian called the Golden Swordfish Dragon Guards over. In addition, the Dragon Spur Division was hidden in every corner of the imperial capital to prevent accidents from happening. 1,500 Dragon Guards, 1,004th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, 405th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, 56th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, 37th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, 28th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, 9th level Insightful Void Martial Artists, and Ao Jian 1 Show 1 level. Their strength was 1 level higher than their own level. Therefore, the lowest strength of these 1,500 dragon guards was 5th level insightful void martial artists. In the Empire they were definitely a core army. As for the Dragon Spur division which was hidden in the dark, their strength was even more terrifying. The weakest of them had the strength to assassinate a level 6 of the void interpretation stage. Alright little Xian. Feng Yuan did not show any courtesy to Wang Xian. She nodded her head and said, now that the preparations for the ceremony are basically ready, you should go on stage too. Me? Haha, I think I'd better forget about it. I still want to travel around the continent as the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace when the Dragon Palace stands tall on the continent in the future. Wang Xian shook his head and refused with a smile. Then we'll go up if you don't go up. Hehe, the elders of the 6th Empire on the continent are all goddesses. And they're all very powerful beautiful girls. Guan Shuqing, Xiaoyu and the other girls were very enthusiastic and excited. Now, including Xiaoyu and the other 9 girls, apart from Lan Qingyue who had reached the 1st level of the see-through void tier, the rest were all at the half-step longevity realm. If they were to really fight, the 8 of them who had the bloodline talent would be able to fight against the longevity powerhouses. If the Dragon and Phoenix Empire were to include the 9 girls and Xiaolan, they would be able to match the strength of the 9 God Empire. As you wish. I'll just watch from below. Wang Xian said with a smile. Reporting to the Empress, a group of powerhouses from the 9 God Empire is about to arrive. The 9 God Emperor is here personally. At this moment, a soldier came in to report. Oh, the 9 Gods Emperor is here personally? Feng Yuan looked at Wang Xian. She knew that this 9 Gods Empire had a deep relationship with Wang Xian. Just ask them to come over directly. Wang Xian said directly to the soldier who came in. Oh, Lord Wang. That soldier was slightly stunned. The 9 Gods Emperor was here personally. If the Empress didn't go out to welcome him, I'll go. Feng Lingtian, who was standing at the side, said as he walked out. Wang Xian nodded. Look, that's the legendary empire on the continent, the 9 Gods Empire. It's an empire founded by the legendary 9 gods. Oh my god, the Emperor of the 9 gods has come personally. It's a great honor for our Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Look at the demonic beasts that brought the Emperor of the 9 gods here. They are all at the half-step longevity realm. What a terrifying aura. This is the legendary empire. At this moment, outside the imperial capital of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, some of the citizens were shocked when they saw the grand and luxurious team of the 9 God Empire. This was the first powerful empire that came. Chapter 1731. 1731. Under the gathering of the 1731 continent's forces. The 9 God Empire had sent over 10,000 people, and the group was extremely huge. Moreover, all of them were the 9 God Empire's top experts. Since his boss had established an empire, he, Mo Sha, naturally had to set up the scene. Other than him, he had brought 6 longevity experts, and the remaining 10,000 people were all existences above the 3rd level of the profound void tier. The huge team had a terrifying aura. Even if they were dozens of kilometers apart, they still had the urge to make people worship them. Hundreds of millions of people in the imperial capital and the surrounding area looked at them with reverence. We welcome the 9 God Emperor Lord and everyone from the 9 God Empire to come. Please come in. Feng Lingtian flew over, cupped his hands toward Mo Sha and the others and said, Oh, our 9 God Emperor Lord personally. Alright little friend Feng, lead the way. When the 9 God Empire's Golden God Tribe's longevity expert saw that it was only a longevity expert who came out to welcome them, his expression sank as he coldly shouted. However, before he could speak, Mo Sha, who was sitting in the luxurious pride, immediately interrupted him. Mo Sha did not dare to put on airs in his boss's territory. Everyone please. Feng Lingtian led them to the seats specially prepared for the 5 empires. Mo Sha. After entering the imperial capital, Wang Xian, Feng Yuan, and the rest walked out of the palace and shouted at Mo Sha and the rest who were walking towards them. Boss Kiki boss, I Mo Sha have really missed you to death. When Mo Sha saw Wang Xian, he immediately came out from Di Jiao's palace with an exaggerated expression and walked over quickly. Oh. The longevity experts of the 9 God Empire who came with Mo Sha had some understanding when they saw Wang Xian. No wonder their boss came personally and brought so many experts. Even if the Emperor of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire didn't come to welcome them, he wasn't angry at all. So, he was the boss of their emperor. Boss, this must be sister-in-law. Wow, sister-in-law is so beautiful. She is indeed the second empress of the continent. Her beauty has shaken the world. Sha walked over and saw Feng Yuan beside Wang Xian. From her body, Sha could feel a powerful force. Coupled with her luxurious phoenix robe, he immediately treated her as his boss's old lover. He said with a fawning expression. As soon as he said that, Feng Yuan's smiling face immediately stiffened. Guan Shuqing and the other girls at the side stared at him with murderous intent. Sha sensed that the atmosphere was not right. His gaze suddenly swept over Ling Jian'er and Lan Qingyue as he pursed his lips. He had seen Ling Jian'er and Lan Qingyue before. These two could definitely be the boss's lovers. Cough cough, you guys can leave first. Sha felt as though he had said something wrong. He immediately waved at his subordinates behind him and changed the topic. The experts from the Nine God Empire walked to the side under Feng Lingtian's lead. Sha, let me introduce you to Feng Yuan, the future empress of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Wang Xian smiled and introduced her to Sha. Oh. Sha nodded immediately. Feng Yuan? What a familiar name. It's the same name as the #1 empress of all time. It's me. Feng Yuan took off her veil when she saw Sha's funny look and looked at him mockingly. This Empress Feng, the #1 empress of the continent, the #1 lady of the transcendent continent. When Sha saw Feng Yuan's face, he was shocked. This time he was truly shocked. Let's go in and talk. Wang Xian patted Sha's shoulder and walked into the imperial study room. Yes. Sha nodded and couldn't help but size up Feng Yuan. His eyes were filled with shock. The #1 lady in the Transcendence continent. She was an expert whom he had to look up to at that time. If he did not obtain a great opportunity from his boss, he would not be from the same world as her. Wang Xian called Sha over. There were some things that he needed to discuss with him. The day of the founding ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire was also the day Feng Yuan returned. At that time, the Phoenix Empire would be the enemy of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The two empires would definitely fight, and the Nine God Empire would be extremely important. It was possible that the Dragon Palace wouldn't need to make a move to destroy the Phoenix dynasty. The people from the Aoshan Empire have arrived. It's the Aoshan Empire, but compared to the Nine God Empire, there aren't many of them. The Human Dragon Empire is the strongest empire on the continent, the Human Dragon Empire. They have the bloodline of the dragon race. Oh my god. They are people from the World Trading Company. The World Trading Company is the largest trading company on the transcendental continent. I heard that their trading company has 2 longevity experts. Oh my god, all the major factions have arrived one after another. Our Dragon Phoenix Empire is so proud. I look forward to the Empire's grand ceremony in 2 days. On the second day of the Nine God Empire's arrival, all the powerful factions arrived one after another. The Aoshan Empire, the Draconid Empire, and the World Trading Company followed closely behind. The factions with longevity-level experts from other regions also arrived one after another. However, the Aoshan Empire and the Draconid Empire only sent over 1,000 people, each with a longevity-level expert. The Phoenix Dynasty's people have also arrived. There are so many of them. The Phoenix Dynasty, this is an empire established by the continent's #1 empress, the Eternal Empress. Our Dragon Phoenix Empress is not inferior to the former empress of the Phoenix Dynasty. In the evening, the Phoenix Dynasty's team rushed over in a grand manner. All the citizens and experts in the imperial capital looked into the distance when they saw their arrival and discussed among themselves. Compared to the Aoshan Empire and the Draconid Empire, the Phoenix Dynasty had 5,000 to 6,000 people, all of whom were top-notch experts. The Phoenix Empire's Sacred Flame Patriarch and the Emperor's Master led the team. The position in front used to be the ruins of the Divine Kingdom in the vast region. I didn't expect it to be controlled by her. The Sacred Flame Patriarch squinted his eyes and scanned the area in front of him as he said coldly. As expected of the Divine Kingdom that is close to being created by a god. The array formation inside is very terrifying. If she really hides inside, we really won't be able to do anything about it. The day the Empire is established is indeed the best time to attack. However, we still don't know her strength and influence. We also don't know why Emperor Phoenix is so confident. Emperor Phoenix's eyes flashed as he glanced around and said softly. Emperor Phoenix was preparing to make a move at the founding ceremony of the Dragon Phoenix Empire in order to avoid any long delays. However, they didn't know anything about that woman's influence. They also didn't know what strategy Emperor Phoenix had. We don't need to worry about this. We'll know when the day comes. I really don't believe that our Phoenix Empire's current strength can't destroy that woman, Sacred Flame Patriarch said with a frown. Everyone from the Phoenix Empire, thank you for coming. Our great Empress is busy with things, so we're here to welcome you. At this moment, the 4 longevity experts from the Dragon Phoenix Empire flew over and greeted them. It's all right, lead the way. Sacred Flame Ancestor and Emperor Master glanced at the 4 of them and exchanged a glance. The 2 of them took the lead to come over. In the depths of the Sea of Desolation, all the powers of the 17 strongest families of the Phoenix Empire and Emperor Phoenix were gathered there. The day the Dragon Phoenix Empire was established was the day they died. They were completely annihilated. Chapter 1732. 1732 in my name. Empress, the people of the Phoenix dynasty are here. The leader is the Patriarch of the Sacred Fire Clan and the Emperor's teacher of the Phoenix dynasty. When the Phoenix dynasty arrived, the Dragon and Phoenix dynasty immediately passed the news to Feng Yuan, the Sacred Fire Clan and the Emperor's teacher. When Feng Yuan heard the names of these 2 people, a trace of coldness appeared in her eyes. In the past, our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan didn't appear in the world. We didn't know much about the Phoenix dynasty. 10 years ago, when we came into the world, we discovered that the Phoenix dynasty was already in a mess. Feng Yun sighed at the side and her expression was a little ugly. If the Empress is able to return, the people of the Phoenix dynasty will definitely be very happy. That day will be soon. Feng Yuan's eyes flickered. When she became the Empress of the Phoenix dynasty, the entire empire was the most cautious of the 5 great empires. The longevity experts and the families of the longevity experts didn't have any special privileges other than having a huge amount of resources. During her reign, the entire Phoenix dynasty was flourishing and there were many talented geniuses. Many peerless geniuses and geniuses didn't all come from the descendants and families of the longevity experts. The Phoenix dynasty had its own nurturing system. As long as one had the ability, the resources they had wouldn't be inferior to those disciples with powerful backgrounds. This made the Phoenix dynasty prosperous, but it also made the founding ministers of the Phoenix dynasty slightly dissatisfied. However, they didn't dare to say anything because everything they had was given to them by the Empress. After the current Emperor Feng killed the Empress, he forced all the longevity experts to belong to him and promised a large number of benefits. For more than 1,800 years, every longevity expert had an incomparably huge family clan. The strength of the 17 families occupied 70% of the Phoenix dynasty's power, and their resources were almost monopolized. As such, the citizens of the Phoenix dynasty were naturally dissatisfied. However, how could the ordinary citizens fight against them? They could only submit. This was also why when all the powerhouses of the Phoenix dynasty knew that the Empress was still alive, not only were they not happy, they were also a little fearful. Buzz buzz. At this moment, Wang Xian felt the communication stone plate in his interspatial ring vibrate. He was slightly stunned. When he saw the contents on it, his pupils constricted slightly and flickered with a luster. "What's wrong, Xiao Xian?" Guan Shuqing, who was at the side, looked at him and asked curiously. "It's nothing. I'll return to the Dragon Palace first." Wang Xian smiled and shook his head as he spoke to the group of girls. "Why are you returning to the Dragon Palace?" The few girls looked at him with puzzlement on their faces. "Haha, it's nothing." Wang Xian shook his head, moved his body and disappeared. The group of girls curled their lips and joined in the discussion about the Phoenix dynasty. Whoosh. After continuous teleportation, Wang Xian arrived at the Dragon Palace in no time. "Prime Minister Gue, what's wrong?" Wang Xian came to the Dragon King's palace and asked Prime Minister Gue directly. "Dragon King, not long ago the detection ability of the Dragon Palace sent a warning message. Deep in our barren sea, there was a powerful energy fluctuation. I sent the Yaksha to investigate and discovered this scene," Prime Minister Gue said as he waved his arm. A Yaksha's perspective appeared in front of Wang Xian and the rest. This was the ability of the Level 5 Dragon Palace detection. One could see the perspective of the members of the Dragon Palace. I didn't expect them to discover it. Wang Xian looked at the scene on the screen and his eyes sparkled. In the screen, a group of 500,000 people gathered in the sky above the depths of the Sea of Desolation. Beside the 500,000 people, a flag was fluttering. It was the flag of the Phoenix dynasty. As the Yuxia was afraid of being discovered, they were very far away and couldn't see the specific people clearly. Feng Yuan's identity should have been exposed. It's just that I didn't expect the Phoenix Empire to use the entire empire's strength to destroy Feng Yuan. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw this scene. However, it's not certain who will be destroyed. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. The Phoenix Empire might not know that the Nine Gods Empire was already on Feng Yuan's side in such a short period of time. If they were to really fight, they would be able to destroy the Phoenix Empire without the Dragon Palace's help. That is. However, at this moment, a scene that shocked Wang Xian appeared in front of him. At the back of the barren sea, another terrifying team flew over in a mighty manner. Ferocious beasts roared and the beasts galloped. The leader was an incomparably huge demonic bird. The demonic bird had a green wing and a fiery red wing. The two gigantic wings were about 1,000 meters in size. Even through the surveillance footage of the Dragon Palace, one could still sense that the demonic bird was extraordinary. Behind this demonic bird, there were hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts following behind it. Other than the dragon race, the only one who could mobilize so many demonic beasts was the 10,000 Demon Empire. And this was obviously not the dragon race. The Nine Heavens demonic bird, the emperor of the 10,000 Demon Empire. Why do they have so many subordinates? Wang Xian had a serious look on his face. The 10,000 Fei Empire was not simple. Among the 5 great empires, their strength was second only to the Draconid Empire's Aoshan Empire. The Nine Heavens demon bird possessed both wood and fire attributes. It was recognized as a heaven and earth mutated species in the entire transcendental continent. It possessed the strength of level 6 longevity. It was said that it could fight against dragons of the same level. Other than that, the 10,000 Fei Empire had more than 20 longevity-level demon emperors. In Wang Xian's vision, the Nine Heavens demon bird of the 10,000 Fei Empire transformed into a man with wings. He was conversing with a middle-aged man whose entire body was covered in flames. The entire conversation took about 5 minutes. Following that, a portion of the demon beasts flew towards the imperial capital of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Most of them flew towards the edge of the forest of the Divine Kingdom under the leadership of the Nine Heavens demonic bird emperor. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. With a move, he disappeared from the Dragon Palace and teleported towards the direction of the Empire of 10,000 Demons. He activated his yin-yang and 5 elements dragon eyes. 5 minutes later, Wang Xian saw the Nine Heavens demonic bird emperor leading his subordinates, 22 longevity experts and hundreds of thousands of demonic beasts hiding at the edge of the forest of the Divine Kingdom. He turned his head and looked at the depths of the barren sea on the right. His eyes revealed a glimmer of light. How did the 10,000 Demon Empire join forces with the Phoenix dynasty? Furthermore, the Emperor of the 10,000 Demon Empire, the Emperor of the Nine Heavens Demon Bird, personally led over 20 longevity experts here. It's almost the entire strength of the Empire. Wang Xian mumbled. The grand ceremony of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire this time had somewhat exceeded his expectations. In this case, 2 empires are involved. Including the Nine Gods Empire, there are 3 of them. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Since that's the case, let's fight. The Dragon Palace can only become stronger and stronger during the war. Since the Heavenly Dragon and Phoenix Empire is announced to be established, let's announce something after the Phoenix Empire and the Empire of 10,000 Demons arrive. That is, the Dragon Palace will step onto the stage of the mainland. In my name. Chapter 1733. 1733, The Powerful Dragon and Phoenix Empire. On the day of the founding ceremony of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, things had completely exceeded Wang Xian's expectations. However, everything was still under his control. This made Wang Xian decide to let the Dragon Palace truly step onto the stage at the center of the extraordinary mainland, displaying all the powers of the Dragon Palace. He was looking forward to the moment when the Dragon Palace had nearly 20,000 insightful void martial arts practitioners and more than 20 longevity martial arts practitioners. He was looking forward to the impact it would bring to the entire mainland. When he thought of this, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Wang Xian's figure moved and flew directly toward the imperial capital. Night had already fallen in the vast region, but the entire imperial capital was filled with joy. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom had been transformed into an incomparably huge city. There were all kinds of shops inside, not much different from other cities. In the center was the palace, which was also where the future empress would be located. At night, the entire imperial city was still bustling with activity. There were experts from all the cities of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, as well as experts from all the clans in the Luhai region. In addition, there were disciples from all the other factions on the Transcendence continent. Other than the 5 empires, there were 20 to 30 other factions that came from the Transcendence continent. Each faction had at least 1,000 people. Among them, there were many experts and disciples from these factions who had just arrived at the imperial capital of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Naturally, they wanted to take a good look around. There were also quite a number of factions who were trying to find out about the actual strength of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. This made the entire imperial capital extremely lively. In the past 10 days, the entire imperial capital would probably be extremely lively. There would be no difference between day and night. When he arrived at the imperial city's palace, Wang Xian asked the Huoyun personal guards and walked towards the palace where Feng Yuan was staying. Young Master Wang. At the entrance, Huoyun stood at the entrance with a smile on his face. When he saw Wang Xian, he greeted him respectfully. Are Feng Yuan, Shu Qing and the rest inside? Wang Xian asked directly. Young Master Wang, the Empress, Lan Qingyue, Guan Shu Qing, and the other elders are inside to pick out the clothes they will be wearing tomorrow. Young Master Wang, it might not be suitable for you to enter now. Feng Yun said with a smile. Oh, is that so? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. He smiled and said, I still have some questions to ask Feng Yuan. Young Master Wang, if you are in a hurry, I will inform the Empress. Feng Yun said immediately. No need. By the way, Feng Yun, when Feng Yuan was the Empress of the Feng dynasty, how was her relationship with the 10,000 Demons Empire? Wang Xian asked Feng Yun with a twinkle in his eyes. Oh, the relationship between our Empress and the 10,000 Fei Empire? A hint of doubt appeared on Feng Yun's face. She immediately replied, speaking of which, their relationship wasn't good. There was once a demon emperor of the 10,000 Fei Empire who secretly controlled ferocious beasts to launch a ferocious beast siege on our Phoenix dynasty. At that time, the Empress was so furious that she personally killed that demon emperor because there was some enmity between the 10,000 Fei Empire and this matter. However, the grudges were not huge. Later on, the Emperor of the Nine Heavens demonic bird came to the Phoenix Empire personally. He wanted to ask the Empress for some bloodlines, but the Empress did not agree to it. After that, they parted on bad terms. Feng Yun recalled and spoke to Wang Xian one by one. This made him somewhat enlightened. Young Master Wang, is there something going on? Feng Yun asked when he saw Wang Xian in deep thought. No. He shook his head and said, I'll take a stroll around the imperial capital first. Wang Xian did not tell Feng Yun about this matter. Instead, he walked toward the location outside. He wanted to investigate the Draconid Empire and the Aoshan Empire. There were already 2 empires that were about to take action. If there were more empires involved, the matter would be out of control. Therefore he had to verify it. Wang Xian walked out and used his Yin-Yang 5 elemental dragon eyes to investigate the Aoshan Empire and the Draconid Empire. After monitoring them for more than an hour, he did not discover anything unusual about the 2 empires. This made him slightly relieved. That is? Just as he was about to leave, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly and saw a few familiar faces. Long Xiaotian He Yuan and He Suiqing were a group of more than 20 young men. Long Xiaotian and He Yuan could be considered as Wang Xian's only 2 good friends in the supernatural continent. However, due to the huge difference in status and the fact that Wang Xian had always stayed in the Dragon Palace, they had not interacted with each other for the past few years. Let's catch up. Wang Xian watched as they walked towards a restaurant and followed behind them with a smile on his face. Young Master He, I've already left you guys a private room. When they arrived at the entrance of the restaurant, the manager immediately came over to welcome them. The restaurant had been full for the past 10 days. However, this was nothing to He Yuan. Now, the He clan had completely submitted to the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The patriarch of the He clan was also one of the only 5 longevity experts in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. In addition, the entire vast region knew the identities of He Yuan and their Lord Wang. It was naturally easy for them to reserve a place in the restaurant. He Yuan was also the most dazzling heaven's favorite in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Okay, thank you, boss. He Yuan nodded at the shopkeeper and smiled at Long Xiaotian. Sure, young master He. Long Xiaotian gave him a thumbs up and said with a laugh. The shopkeeper led them into the restaurant. There's only one table left in the restaurant. Customers who want to taste the specialties of our Dragon and Phoenix Empire can come in. There's only one table. At this moment, a waiter walked out of the restaurant and shouted outside. Let's go, let's go. On the street, 5 or 6 young men immediately walked towards the restaurant. Waiter, we'll take that table. Okay, please come in. A few young men and women walked over with smiles on their faces. The waiter immediately bowed to welcome them. Wait, we'll take that table. However, at this moment, a cold voice shouted, causing the 6 young men and women and the waiter to be slightly stunned. They turned around and frowned slightly. 7 demonic beasts that were 2 meters tall and looked like ape men walked over directly. Their bodies carried an intense murderous aura. Dear guests, I'm sorry, the last table has already been reserved. The waiter hurriedly said. If I say we want it, then we want it. Scram. The ape man standing in the middle coldly swept his gaze across the 5 or 6 youths. Why should we give it to you? The 6 youths' expressions changed slightly, and they immediately said. Can't you see that we're honored guests? Scram, you trash of the vast region. The ape man in the middle waved his arm and a force shot towards the 6 young men and women. The powerful force caused them to fly backward. Bang, bang, bang. The 6 of them could not help but spit out blood. Their faces turned pale. However, He Yuan and the others who had just walked to the entrance of the restaurant heard the sounds coming from behind. They immediately frowned and turned around to look. Wang Xian, who was walking towards them, was slightly stunned when he saw this scene. A cold glint flashed across his eyes. He was deliberately looking for trouble. Chapter 1734. 1734. In the powerful Dragon Phoenix Empire of 1734. 6 young men and women fell to the ground and spat out blood. In the future imperial capital of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, the streets were crowded with pedestrians. 7 ape men attacked the 6 young men and women, causing them to fall to the ground. This instantly attracted the attention of everyone in the surroundings. In particular, the words, trash in the vast region made the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Empire frown, and a trace of coldness appeared on their faces. Everyone, isn't it a little too much to injure people in front of our Dragon and Phoenix Empire? He Yuan turned his head and spoke to the 7 ape men with an icy expression. You aren't an empire yet, right? The ape man in the middle opened his mouth, revealing a mouth full of dense teeth as he spoke indifferently. We are guests. We've waited here for so long just to have a meal. Here, this is your treatment fee. Scram. As the ape man spoke, he waved his arm and threw spirit stones at the 6 young men and women as he spoke arrogantly. You. The 6 young men and women had ugly expressions on their faces as anger appeared on their faces. You guys, aren't you being a little too arrogant? Hurting people in our Dragon Phoenix Empire, are you looking down on us? When He Yuan saw this scene, he took 2 steps towards them with a gloomy face. What an arrogant bunch. How dare they cause trouble in our Dragon Phoenix Empire? That's right. Which faction are they from? How dare they be so arrogant? Cripple these bastards. Young Master He Yuan, cripple these bastards. In the surroundings, some of the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Empire were also shouting at the 7 ape men indignantly. Shut up. We are guests from the 10,000 Fey Empire, and we accidentally injured a few people. What? Are you going to cripple us? Haha, not to mention that your Dragon and Phoenix Empire has yet to become an empire, so what if you become one? The ape man in the middle said with a loud laugh, not caring about the people around him at all. When they came, they had already learned that their emperor was going to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire on the day that it was announced as an empire. Furthermore, the Phoenix Empire was with them. They did not take the Dragon Phoenix Empire seriously at all and did as they pleased. So what if they were the ones who beat you up? In fact, their tone was filled with provocation. The 10,000 Fey Empire. He Yuan's pupils constricted slightly when he heard their words and a solemn expression appeared on his face. What? They're from the 10,000 Fey Empire? The 10,000 Fey Empire's strength isn't weak. Everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire was slightly shocked and extremely embarrassed. The 10,000 Fey Empire was the only empire built by a demon beast on the continent. Its terrifying strength could be ranked third in the entire continent. A veteran empire with hundreds of thousands of foundations was completely incomparable to them. Moreover, the 10,000 Fey Empire was personally invited by the Dragon Phoenix Empire to watch the ceremony. Haha, it's just a small matter. If the 10,000 Fey Empire wants to fight, so be it. Your Dragon Phoenix Empire has no manners at all. So what if the 10,000 Fey Empire wants to let everyone in first? At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded from the side. Everyone who was watching was slightly taken aback as they looked over. When they saw a few middle-aged men dressed in fiery red robes, they were slightly taken aback. That seems to be from the Phoenix Dynasty's Sacred Fire clan. That's right, it's from the Phoenix Dynasty. That's the empire that the Empress once founded, a legendary empire. Hiss, I didn't expect them to speak up for the 10,000 Fey Empire. Everyone around was slightly shocked. Their faces were filled with shock, but at the same time, they were also somewhat embarrassed. Seeing the Phoenix Dynasty speak up for the 10,000 Fey Empire, He Yuan's expression became even more embarrassed. In such a situation, it wasn't something he could decide. He didn't dare to make a decision either. Even if he was one of the best of the younger generation in the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire, even if his ancestor was a longevity expert. Now, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will suffer a loss. It's impossible to do anything to the people from the 10,000 Fey Empire. After all, even if the Dragon and Phoenix Empire were to establish an empire, it would still be very different. That's right. This is just a small matter. Even if the people from the 10,000 Fey Empire were to kill them, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would probably not say anything. Around them, some of the Aoshan Empire and other factions that had come to watch the ceremony noticed the situation and said indifferently. Their voices were not concealed at all, and the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire could hear them clearly. This made the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire look even more embarrassed. If they fell behind, they would be beaten up, and if they were weak, they would be bullied. What happened? At this moment, a group of more than 10 swordsmen with long swords flew over. They were all wearing the same golden clothes and there was no emotion on their faces. Their bodies were extremely cold. 15 dragon guards rushed over. At the moment, because the Dragon and Phoenix Empire was a bit weak, the dragon guards of the Dragon Palace were temporarily in charge of security for the next few days. When the dragon guards arrived, what everyone didn't know was that more than a dozen strange demons were already hiding in the surroundings. The city guards are here. The swordsman city guards sent by Lord Wang. The people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw more than a dozen dragon guards flying over and said softly, "Punish them severely." Wang Xian stood in the crowd and watched the arrogant demonic beasts of the 10,000 Fey Empire. When he saw the arrival of the dragon guards, he immediately transmitted his voice to them. The crowd was slightly stunned. It's the Dragon King. The leader of the Dragon Guards, who had the combat strength of half a step away from longevity, immediately transmitted his voice. Captain of the City Guards, 7 demonic beasts of the 10,000 Fey Empire injured 6 people from our empire. He Yuan immediately said when he saw the 15 Dragon Guards. How troublesome. We have already thrown the compensation spirit stones to them. Let's go eat. When the ape man in the lead saw that the Dragon Guards had arrived, he did not take them seriously. Instead, he said impatiently. As he spoke, he walked straight into the restaurant. The group of 7 demonic beasts swaggered about. How arrogant. When the surrounding people heard their words, they said with an embarrassed expression. Clang, clang, clang. However, at this moment, the group of dragon guards pulled out their golden long swords and directly stopped the 7 demonic beasts. Our Dragon and Phoenix Empire should have reminded you that in our place, please abide by our laws. The dragon guards, who had the combat power of half-step longevity realm, said coldly with an expressionless face. Didn't you just injure a few people? What do you, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, want to do to us? The ape-man in the lead raised his head slightly and asked with disdain when he saw the sword that stopped them. According to the laws of our Dragon and Phoenix Empire, you will be imprisoned for 1 year for hurting people in the Imperial City. The Dragon Guard said coldly. Haha, imprisoned for 1 year? However, the Dragon Guard's words made the 7 ape-men burst into laughter. They stared at the Dragon Guards mockingly and said coldly, I'm leaving today. I'd like to see what you can do to me. Chapter 1735. 1735, The Mighty Dragon Phoenix Empire. I'd like to see what you can do to me. The ape-man in the lead said to the Dragon Guards with a disdainful face. After saying that, he flicked away the long sword in front of him with contempt and walked forward proudly. All the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Empire looked at this scene with an embarrassed expression. The demon beasts of the 10,000 Fey Empire were simply slapping their faces. Hee hee. The Sacred Fire Clan members watched this scene with smiles on their faces. Clang? However, just as the ape-man pushed away the golden longsword and took a step forward, a sharp sound rang out. Those who resist will die. The sound of the sharp sword was raised, and the Dragon Guard's voice rang out at the same time. The moment he swung his long sword, everyone in the surroundings had looks of astonishment on their faces. The 7 ape-men were stunned, and a look of shock flashed across their eyes. Especially the ape-man in the lead. He looked at the sword that was coming towards him, and a look of confusion and fear appeared on his face. Pooh! However, this only happened in an instant. In an instant, the sword had already descended, and the ape-man in the lead did not have the slightest ability to resist. Ping! A corpse fell heavily to the ground, and his head was directly chopped off. What? Everyone in the surroundings looked at this scene in shock. The guards of the Dragon Phoenix Empire had actually killed the demonic beasts of the 10,000 Fey Empire. You actually dared to kill the demonic beasts of our 10,000 Fey Empire? Your Dragon Phoenix Empire is simply courting death. Beside them, the other 6 ape-men from the 10,000 Fey Empire had savage expressions. They pointed at the Dragon Guards and roared with killing intent. Pooh pooh pooh. However, at that moment the sound of swords being drawn rang out. Ping ping ping. Following that, the ape-men fell to the ground and were all killed. The ape-men's eyes were filled with shock and disbelief, as well as a hint of regret deep in their hearts. They really dared to make a move. Please abide by the law in our Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Those who violate the law together will be punished. Those who resist will be killed. The Dragon Guard's cold voice sounded. His face was still as indifferent as before, without the slightest bit of emotion. The people of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire are so powerful. They really dare to make a move. These are the people of the 10,000 Fey Empire. They actually directly killed them. Oh my god, the people from the Dragon Phoenix Empire are so tough? They actually killed them directly. Haha, I support them. Well done. Kill those bastards. When the people gathered around saw the 7 ape-men from the 10,000 Fey Empire being killed, they were all shocked. The factions that came to watch the ceremony were all dumbfounded. Even the people from the Aoshan Empire were shocked. To dare to kill people from the 10,000 Fey Empire, was the Dragon Phoenix Empire that ferocious? Not afraid of the 10,000 Fey Empire taking revenge? Or was it that they had nothing to fear? However, compared to the shock from the other factions, everyone from the Dragon Phoenix Empire was extremely relieved. Their strength was the true glory of an empire. Roar, your puny Dragon Phoenix Empire actually dares to kill members of our 10,000 Fey Empire. At that moment, a roar suddenly came from behind them. The sound reverberated within a few hundred kilometers. The sound instantly caused the entire imperial capital to tremble. Everyone looked over at the same time. When the 10,000 Fey Empire members heard the sound, they immediately flew over. Flying within the imperial capital is prohibited. Get lost. At this moment, Ao Jian's cold voice rang out. Everyone who flew into the sky had a drastic change in expression as their bodies plummeted downwards. Ao Jian's figure instantly appeared in the sky above the restaurant. He looked down at everyone from above. Bus. At the same time, Feng Ling Tian, who was also responsible for the city guard's duties, appeared at the side. Ao Jian, don't give the 10,000 Fey Empire any face. Wang Xian crossed his arms and transmitted his voice to Ao Jian directly. He watched this scene with a smile on his face. Today he wanted to see how the 10,000 Fei Empire would dare to be arrogant. Ao Jian, who appeared in the sky, sensed the Dragon King immediately. When he heard the Dragon King's voice transmission, he nodded silently. Who dares to make a ruckus in our Dragon and Phoenix Empire? Ao Jian looked coldly at the claw-hunting demonic beast that had sharp claws and a slender body. Who gave your Dragon Phoenix Empire the courage to kill a member of our 10,000 Fei Empire? The claw-hunting demonic beast slowly walked towards the center. Beside him there were 5 clansmen. Leader, 7 members of the 10,000 Fei Empire have seriously injured others for no reason. Under arrest, we will directly kill them. The Dragon Guard reported directly to Ao Jian. According to the laws of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, shouting in the imperial capital is prohibited. Anyone who makes noise will have their arms cut off. When Ao Jian heard the Dragon Guard's report, he looked at the claw-hunting demonic beast and said coldly, "Clang?" Just as he finished speaking, Ao Jian flicked his finger and a sword chi instantly cut off the claw-hunting demonic beast's arm. Ao Yao, who was at the first level of longevity, could fight against a demon at the second level of longevity, especially the Golden Swordfish clan who had cultivated the Heartless Sword principle. It could be said that they were the most terrifying in the Dragon Palace. Their terror was no less than that of the strange demon. What? Seeing Ao Jian cut off the arm of a demon beast from the 10,000 Fei Empire on the spot, everyone was dumbfounded again. What is the Dragon Phoenix Empire doing? Is it expressing their strength? The forces that came to watch the ceremony were shocked as their expressions changed. The Dragon Phoenix Empire's strength was beyond everyone's expectations. Hiss. When the claw-hunting demon beast whose arm had been cut off saw the extremely powerful Ao Jian, his pupils constricted, and a trace of fear appeared on his face. At that moment, he realized that the Dragon Phoenix Empire did not care about their identity as the 10,000 Fei Empire. He had no doubt that if he dared to say anything else, he would definitely be killed by that merciless swordsman. Awesome. Haha, domineering. He's simply too domineering. I like it. He dares to be so arrogant in our territory. Does he really think that we won't dare to do anything to them? Continue to be so arrogant? The surrounding citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire looked on with excitement. At this moment they felt extremely good. Feng Lingtian stood at the side and looked at Ao Jian in astonishment. Suddenly he noticed Wang Xian's figure. He pursed his lips and didn't say a word. Normally Ao Jian and the Dragon Guards wouldn't be so overbearing and disrespectful to the 10,000 Fei Empire. Clearly, all of this was under the command of his brother-in-law, Bzz. However, in the next instant, an extremely violent aura pressed down on them. Within a radius of several hundred kilometers, everyone felt their breathing stop. A death threat came. Dragon and Phoenix Empire, you'd better give us an explanation. Otherwise, we will let you witness the roars of 10,000 beasts, wreaking havoc in the world. A violent roar resounded throughout the imperial capital. Chapter 1736. 1736 Phoenix Cry 9 Heavens Empire established 1. A cold and violent voice resounded throughout the entire imperial capital. The terrifying pressure caused everyone to feel slightly suffocated. Hearing this voice, everyone in the imperial capital had shocked expressions on their faces. Just now, the voice of that expert from the 10,000 Fei Empire had already caused the entire imperial capital to be incomparably shocked. Now hearing this voice, feeling the terrifying killing intent contained within, some people were stunned. They raised their heads in shock and looked up into the sky. What was it that caused the experts from the 10,000 Fei Empire to be so angry and say such cold words? At the Dragon and Phoenix Imperial Palace, Feng Yuan, Feng Yun, Lan Qingyue, and the other girls as well as all the important officials of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, had a slight change in expression when they heard this voice. Their bodies moved and they quickly flew over. At the same time, 2 figures with blood-red eyes appeared above the restaurant. One was a 5-meter-tall ape man with muscles all over his body, and the other was a 6 to 7-meter-tall claw-hunting demonic beast. Their terrifying aura suppressed an area of dozens of kilometers. When they saw the corpses on the ground, the 5-meter-tall ape man's eyes shot out a terrifying killing intent. The sky began to darken as the spiritual energy of fierce beasts gathered in the sky. They coldly swept their gaze over everyone around them. Oh no, the experts of the 10,000 Fey Empire are furious. Seeing the two Wanshou and Wanshou experts of the 10,000 Fey Empire instantly appear in the sky, emitting a violent killing intent, everyone's expressions changed drastically below them. These two were the demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire, extremely terrifying mighty figures. Withdraw your auras. Clang, clang, clang. However, at this moment, an extremely cold voice sounded. In the sky, a terrifying golden sword flashed past, directly tearing apart the ferocious beast patterns that had condensed in the sky. Sharp sword rays appeared around the two demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire. The sharp sword gleams were like the tongues of poisonous snakes, ready to launch a fatal attack at any moment. The two demon emperors saw that their auras were instantly destroyed and their attacks locked onto them. Their expressions changed slightly as they felt the fatal threat from the sword gleams. Dragon and Phoenix Empire, are you trying to make an enemy out of us? The two demon emperors stared at the sword gleams around them with fear and gloominess as they stared at Ao Jian. Hiss. Everyone below gasped when they saw this scene. They watched in shock. Demon emperors of the 10,000 Demon Empire, you should first understand the situation. At the same time, discipline your subordinates. Ao Jian stared at them expressionlessly and said coldly, "This is the reason why you dare to kill members of the 10,000 Demon Empire." The two demon emperors narrowed their eyes filled with killing intent. In the territory of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, you must abide by our laws. Not to mention the members of the 10,000 Fey Empire, even you can challenge us to see if you can get out of the Dragon Phoenix Empire alive. Ao Jian was still expressionless as he spoke. However, his words were extremely domineering, causing the expressions of the two demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire to change drastically. No one expected the Dragon Phoenix Empire to be so powerful. Even the two demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire did not give them any face. Hum hum hum. At that moment, many phantoms appeared in the sky. Feng Yuan and Company, the longevity experts of the Aoshan Empire, the longevity experts of the Draconid Empire, the Sacred Flame Patriarch and Emperor's Master of the Phoenix Empire, as well as the longevity experts of the Nine God Empire. All the top-tier experts appeared in the void. They didn't show themselves, but powerful energies enveloped them. What's going on? Feng Yuan stood in the flames, looked down, and asked indifferently. All of them heard Ao Jian's domineering words and saw sharp sword chi pointing at the two demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire. This made them frown slightly. Dragon and Phoenix Empress. Feng Lingqian's figure moved and arrived in front of Feng Yuan and the others. 7 members of the 10,000 Fey Empire injured 6 people in our imperial capital with an arrogant attitude. When the members of the Dragon Guards attacked, they resisted arrest and we brought them to justice. Feng Lingtian immediately reported to Feng Yuan. In the end, his aura shook and his voice enveloped the surroundings. Empress, my brother-in-law is down there. He should be the one commanding Ao Jian to be so domineering. He transmitted his voice to Feng Yuan and the other girls' ears. Ha! Feng Yuan swept her gaze down and immediately saw Wang Xian, who was standing below with his arms crossed and a smile on his face. Empress Dragon and Phoenix, our 10,000 Demon Empire is invited here. As the saying goes, guests are guests. Is this how you treat your guests? Even if the members of the 10,000 Fey Empire are at fault, you can't kill them, right? They are disciples of the 10,000 Fey Empire. The two Fey Emperors said with extremely cold expressions. Everyone's gaze turned to the area in the sky that was shrouded in flames. We naturally welcome friends who come from afar. However, if friends don't abide by the rules here, we naturally won't let them go. Your disciples were in the wrong first. Could it be that the people of the 10,000 Fey Empire want to take revenge for them? Feng Yuan saw Wang Xian below and understood a little. She said to the two demon emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire calmly. Revenge? Good, very good. Empress Dragon and Phoenix, I hope that you can continue to be strong. The two demon emperors had extremely gloomy expressions when they heard Feng Yuan's words. After that, they sneered and disappeared with a flash. Feng Yuan frowned slightly when she heard their words. She looked at Wang Xian below and left as well. In the sky, the longevity experts from the other empires and some factions were somewhat surprised. They were extremely shocked that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire dared to offend the 10,000 Demon Empire. Their eyes flickered as they left as well. Not giving the 10,000 Fey Empire any face, this feud has been formed. I never thought that the Dragon Phoenix Empire would dare to offend the 10,000 Fey Empire that has a long history. Who gave them the confidence? That's right. We have also observed that the Dragon Phoenix Empire citizens are clearly a level lower than the Empire. The group of longevity experts left. Below them, the disciples who had come to watch the ceremony were shocked when they saw the feud between the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the 10,000 Fey Empire. They could not understand how an empire that was just about to be established dared to offend the 10,000 Fey Empire, which had a deep heritage. While everyone was confused and shocked, they also felt some fear and respect for the Dragon Phoenix Empire. If the 10,000 Fey Empire dared to offend them directly, it was not necessarily that they did not dare to offend them. Seeing that the two Fey Emperors of the 10,000 Fey Empire did not dare to cause trouble and left directly, the citizens of the Dragon Phoenix Empire were extremely excited. Their powerful country naturally made them proud. So what if they were members of the 10,000 Fey Empire? If they dared to cause trouble here and hurt them, they would have to pay a heavy price. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.